we get drippy music this week.
Yes.
Or, I guess
A
not really
drippy,
music.
dank cave.
I'm
Why is
not
it...
sure that I
Ambience.
appreciate drippy music. It sounds quite
Why
ominous.
is it so drippy?
Why does it sound so moist?
Ugh.
I was about to say something really inappropriate, but I stopped myself.
I
I
just
was like,
started the
oh, sorry,
stream.
guys, that was
Come
me.
on.
I'm sorry. I feel like moist should be a word that is banned from use.
That's why I said it. It's the cursed word.
Barnaby will
Actually,
say that, but he won't actually curse.
That's not a swear.
So,
Let's
now
do
that
this
we've got
shit.
all that.
It's been so long. I'm ready.
Yeah, we're diving in with a real short impromptu summary because I did not write one for this week. So, last time, you guys took on a job. You had finished dealing with the goblin plague that had been haranguing the outskirts of town and come back to claim your reward back at the resort. You guys got yourselves a king's suite, got all comfortable, and late that night, a couple of you were woken up to the sounds of goblins jumping the wall and
it seems like
subduing a
strong
guard
word.
outside.
I feel like it's more like the flu.
The what?
So,
The flu.
you guys decided, fuck these goblins, we're taking them out, chasing them off, just get rid of them, just fuck these goblins. A couple of you jumped out the window, one of you shot down from on high with your terrible firearm of doom.
Bertha.
Those goblins were decimated within like 3 rounds of you guys jumping their shit, and they took off running. You encountered one who stayed behind to wrestle with the apparent ringleader and killed him. This was Breadstick, and rather than pursue that character any further, we chased him off as well. And you guys were able to return to your rooms without any issue. Talked down the concierge and smoothed things over. Everything's good. The goblins are no longer a threat, and got to enjoy the rest of your night in relative peace. The next day, you guys got up and went back to speak with the owner of the Deep Echo Mine, a gentleman named... Feel free to chime in.
Torleen?
His... Orlean, no.
Oh, sorry, you're
Torleen
talking about the
was...
guy.
Yeah, the fucking mine owner. What was his name?
Oh,
That guy.
The guy, the fucking guy.
Wasn't it a lady?
No,
Lady
the
Dwarf?
mine...
Dornan.
Dornan. That's
Dornan Fallshine, that was it. The owner of Deep Echo Mine. Talked to him, confirmed the plan to clear out the lower level of his mine that had experienced a slight cave-in. Some of his miners had been attacked. It was about a half-day's journey up to the mining camp where you spoke with the mining crew up there. You met with Lodrak, Jada, Relin, Sybil, Torlin, the union leader for these miners, and we're able to get a little bit of information, sort of assuage your concerns and get a sense of what you're going into, before eventually descending into the mine and making your way to the site of the attack. You guys found the cave-in that the miners had created to sort of cover their escape, cleared it out a little bit, clambered over it, and made your way through the broken chamber wall into a large natural cavern filled with this thick web-like material that had been woven into sheets and partitions and storage compartments that just sort of filled this chamber, divvying it up into a sort of functional storage space. And not long after breaking in, did you guys encounter and successfully hide from what looked like a hunting party of these small humanoid arachnid creatures standing on 2 legs with 4 arms each. They got tiny little hairy heads with numerous gleaming eyes and large pincers in their faces. Sharp claws on each of their hands and toes. Thankfully, all of you were very well hidden, in part thanks to Aloran's Pass Without a Trace, I believe. And these creatures just went about depositing their hunt and making their way down the lower tunnel connecting to this chamber, presumably further into their colony. So we are picking up there. You guys have been left alone in this chamber. It's quiet. You can hear the gentle plip-plop of dripping water somewhere in the chamber.
Why is this cave so moist?
Yes,
Moist.
almost viscous.
Only question I've got before we jump in fully is just how much time do we have on Pass Without a Trace at this point? We weren't in here terribly long yet.
Yeah, I believe you guys popped it as you were coming into the chamber.
We popped it once we were leaving the mine proper, basically.
Right, as you were stepping over the threshold into this chamber to begin with. I'd say you probably have, like, how long does it last? Like 10 minutes?
It's an hour.
Oh, it's an hour. Okay, so you've probably got like more than 50 minutes left.
Okay.
It's only been like 6 or 7 since you guys like stepped in, started poking around, and had your brief encounter.
Oh, and then what was the chamber? So then we kind of seen now that this cavern we're in at the moment has been sort of worn away. The walls have been worn away by whatever process these creatures use to dig. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Did the chamber that we also originally slipped into have that same thing, or did that look more like a natural cave?
So this is the first of the creatures' chambers that you've been in.
Oh, we haven't moved on from the first place we found.
Correct. Yeah, that was the first place. That was where we left off, is right after you saw those creatures. Prior to this, you were in the mine shaft that had sort of broken through the wall into this chamber.
Okay. I was just trying to, because I remember getting into like a chamber, and then I remember us doing walking or something, and then we saw a chamber with 2 like exits or whatever. But maybe it was
it's
just
sort
all
of
the same
like a
room.
large. Yeah, it's just kind of a large like hooked single chamber, and then there you saw the 2 tunnels that had kind of the webbing, kind of trailing out of them a little bit. One a little higher up on the wall, and then one that looks to be like leading downwards.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well,
that's
that
where
was
we're at.
a close one. What do we want to do?
Even at a whisper, your voice very gently echoes in the room.
Don't all speak up.
I
at
know
once.
this because we were in a cave recently.
Ah, yes, but was the cave filled with sound-dampening spider webs?
This
well-
part is clearer, so there's more open. Whatever. Shut up. There's tunnels.
Was it
Sure.
also
We're
as
gonna-
moist as this cave is?
Yes.
We're all split up, aren't we?
Well,
I'll say
All
for
in
the
the same
sake of
room.
consolidating this, you guys have kind of seen that the coast is clear and are able to come out of your hiding spots and reconvene to make your decision.
Do we have any plan that could take on a civilization?
I'm not sure if this is actually a civilization.
we saw
More like an
lizardmen, right?
infestation.
I mean, they seem to be at least intelligent enough to sort things.
There are some birds that are intelligent enough to sort things. Apparently,
like
There's like the bird compartment, and then there's the bat compartment. They've sorted there.
Pretty sure if birds are the size of these things, we'd be scared of them too.
Yeah.
release all the fan dance.
I don't know. What options do we have here?
I will say that I think if we go any further, if we go down one of these tunnels, I think we're going to have a hard time getting back out without fighting. Because right now we're in the one place we can be where we don't have them behind us. But if we go down one of these tunnels, they will be in front of us and behind us then. So
I think we're at a disadvantage. Don't know what these things are. Do you think maybe people on the island know what these things are and know how to deal with them?
Great question.
Hmm.
Are there any people in this sortations?
that is a good question.
Great question. Give me an investigation check.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't like that.
See if I can help with that.
Oh gosh.
Nope. I got a +0 to investigation.
18?
Ooh.
18.
Are you sure you want to find
As
this?
you're looking through the chamber, kind of making your way back to the group, I guess, and kind of poking your head in, you see some bat wings poking out. You see like a monkey hand. You see a bird's wing, in another chamber. Close to the group, not too far from the two tunnels, there is a pile of 5 to 6 foot long sort of packages of webbing that have just been stacked like logs. There's like 5 or 6 of these, just kind of piled one on top of the other. And it's dark, so there's not a lot of color to be discerned, but you can definitely make out distinct dark stains on a lot of the webbing on these packs, and there's kind of a weird contour at one end that kind of pokes up. As you get close to it, you kind of look closer, and you see like poking through. There is definitely like the leather toe of a boot protruding out of this wrapping.
Can I cut it open and?
What are the
Make
odds
sure.
of them being very, very dead?
Would you like to roll the
I'd
check?
say,
Highly likely.
hmm,
Also, if you cut it open, Lauren, they're gonna know for sure we're here.
What kind of check did you say?
Medicine check.
really suspect them to be instigating each boot.
17.
17. Well, none of them are breathing.
That's a bad
Okay.
sign.
Well, no, it's one of those things that I figured as much, but I was just checking
wanted to
for
be
like
sure.
a Frodo Sam situation.
Oh, okay.
I guess getting closer to look, you can see like they're not completely covered. There are like patches of like exposed skin.
I won't cut it open.
It's bloodied. There's definitely signs of
Oh, so he's at half health.
damage on the. No, they are still, and they are covered in blood, but no longer bleeding.
These are probably the miners that got attacked.
That's a safe guess.
Yes, I figured as much.
Yep.
I think we should.
I guess you could say these
Oh.
miners found a major problem.
I think we should go back. We should put something in the hole, and we should find out if the people know what these things are. I think that should be our first step.
We
We should see if we can figure out more about these guys before we like.
That's kind of where my head
Go
is
in.
at, though.
Should we try to take these bodies back to the miners so they can?
If we go with John's plan, I think that would be a good idea. Like, it doesn't matter if they knew we were here at that point, because we're already out of the mine.
one cat.
I mean, if they know that we're here, couldn't they beef up the guard, for when we come back?
That's also true.
Because right now they have no idea we've been here. They have no idea we found any of this.
Right. But say we leave, go ask, and they're like, I don't care, just kill it. And then we come back, and then guard's even beefier. We could get ourselves into a hot boil of gumbo.
I mean,
I'm
I
going
guess
to say, with our interactions with them so far, that would be the precise answer, is we don't care to kill them.
That's kind of where
I'm
I'm leaning.
I'm not really leaning so much on the whether or not we killed them or not. I'm leaning more on the have they interacted with them? Do they know any weaknesses? Or are we going to go into this completely blind and find out suddenly they're immune to fire?
I think considering that the miners have just started striking, like how recent was it? Did they say?
It was like in the past week or two.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're not going to be real familiar with these type.
But as
You
we
will
found,
recall
they
from
go
your
to the-
conversation with the miners when you guys talked to them a month ago. They were able to tell you that these things attacked with sharp claws or knives of some kind. Something was cutting and stabbing at their backs as they ran. But beyond that, they really don't have a lot of understanding about what these things are.
I mean, the mine owner didn't know a damn thing about them. The miners were only able to describe them. Did we see claws? Can we surmise that it wasn't knives at this point?
You definitely saw. They do have sharp, kind of hooked claws on their hands.
Okay.
So are they saying? Are they saying they saw it and did not know what it was, or they couldn't really see it? All they felt was
they
the
were
claw?
attacked out of the dark and ran. So nobody got a real clear look except for like a couple of people. And they were able to kind of vaguely describe this small humanoid-ish hairy creature.
So they've had a description. So if they knew what it was, they would have told us. Okay.
Yeah, we
I didn't.
got a lot of
I
information.
was not aware.
I also have the opinion, given how moist it is down here and how there's not a lot of fire, I have a feeling they're going to be not immune to fire.
Okay, I was not aware they had a description of it, and so if they knew what it was, they would have told us. I did not hear that part.
Yeah, as I recall, that they gave a very, it was not a great description, but they had a brief one they were able to give.
Okay. I say then we should test to find out if their webs are flammable.
In real quick, in that medicine check, can I figure out if they do any like poison stuff like some insects do?
I guess that would require a little more thorough of an inspection of the body. So if you want to dig into the webs,
to inspect the ones that the critters just put away.
I was gonna say, didn't
Like the hell.
Going to be your precious kills.
Didn't some of the miners say they had poisoned or no? Am I misremembering?
I don't remember, which is why I asked.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it is, I would like to
I
see.
don't remember.
It's like it was a month ago or something.
I know it's been so long.
Would that be a medicine check or would that be investigation check?
I'd say medicine would suffice. So go ahead and give me a medicine check on the fresh kills that you watched them just deposit in some of these compartments.
A 19.
19. Okay. With a 19, you find one of these bundles of freshly caught game. Kind of have to peel a bit to get the webbing open to get in, like inside of it. It's sort of you can tell like this stuff is deliberately sort of woven into like a thick, almost blanket of web. It's not just like a glob. It seems to be pretty deliberately, if roughly, crafted. And once it's sort of congealed closed, you kind of have to force it open. Getting inside it and getting a hold of one of these large toucans that are sort of bundled up in it. Still dead, not breathing, like any of that. It's hard to say in the dark until you start like getting real intimate with some of the wounds on this thing. It looks like there's a lot of webbing in the feathers. Like this thing might have been initially caught with webbing. But there is a pair of fairly deep puncture wounds on the chest of this bird. And they got kind of a sickly sort of smell to them. It doesn't smell like even remotely pleasant.
Natural.
It's natural smelling, but it's definitely like an acidic almost kind of stinging smell, like faintly kind of wafting out of that, coupled with the smell of decomposing flesh that's kind of starting to come off this thing, which is surprising because it looks like it's a fairly fresh kill.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do my little bonus thing today and swap out one of my level 2 spells
Okay.
so that I can have protection from poison prepped.
Mm. All right, that's fair.
Just to cover all our bases, you said there was webbing hanging from the ceiling too. Is that right?
In spots, yeah. It's more like the partitions are stretched all the way up to the ceiling.
Okay. So there's
so
curtains of web.
Yeah, that kind of create these little small rooms where these bundles
Okay.
of captured
Is there any way I
game
could just
have been
take like
sort of
a
sorted.
little something off of there and just kind of rip it off onto its own? Just have a little glob of it.
It's very sticky. You'd probably have to use like a knife to fully get it to break off. It's very self-adhering, but you could definitely do it with a little bit of work and get a hold of some. Sure.
Okay. I don't have a knife, but I have a rapier. So I'm gonna take
Got
that.
a very long knife you're sawing
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Just gonna place it on the ground in just kind of like an open area that's dry. I'm just gonna cast Prestidigitation, and see if it lights up, or if it just like snuffs
Okay.
out because it's too wet or whatever.
Yeah, you cast prestidigitation, try and spark a flame there, and you get that little of a kind of a candle wick kind of burning in the center of it that pretty quickly, within like a minute, kind of spreads to encompass the entire thing. It goes from that tiny little flame to a small crackling before quickly curling into a blackened, sooty sort of knot and stuffing itself out.
Well, you're gonna be happy to know it's flammable, John. I'll stomp out the ashes of that.
Okay, now what's our next step? Do we explore more? Do we burn and run?
I personally say we explore.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't find out more at least. Just I guess we ought to be prepared for the fact that I don't know if there's any coming back from this point, like without fighting. So if we're all ready
That's
for
why
that.
I'm saying we just head in. Might as well.
Which way are we gonna go? Left or right?
So I've been thinking about it this past month. I think, from what it seems like, we actually learned a lot from watching them when they came in. The top probably leads to their webs that are in the forest, and down probably leads to wherever the den is, right? Because they like came in from their hunting expedition and dropped off their supplies and went to go presumably meet up with their brethren. I don't know. So I think down would give us more information, and up would give us the chance to find an escape route if we needed it, although we kind of have one of those already.
I think if we're gonna, my only worry is we start a fight and they start escaping through that escape route, and then they can come back in any time. So I think we should go left first, find the escape route, and I don't know, either rig it to block or block it altogether.
I think these
And then go
tunnels are
down.
too big, though, is the problem. These are like 10-foot wide circular tunnels.
Does not say that the ending point is that big, though. I mean, you think somebody in the forest would notice a giant 10-foot hole.
Well, remember, we are 4 hours out from the city.
That's true. I forgot we were that far out from the city.
Yeah, you guys did a decent amount of walking.
Also, we're like... sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask a quick detail question. Can I use my Harness Divine Power in conjunction with my changing out spell slots to just keep all my spell slots?
Harness Divine Power is.
It lets me get a spell slot of my proficiency modifier back, while using the channel divinity. It takes away the spell slot, so it would just kind of.
That. Oh, is that one of the new Tasha things?
No, that's a specific thing.
So I think she's saying she would use the channel divinity to use the spell slot, and then use the
Harness
other thing
divine
to give the
power
spell
to
slot back.
bring it back. Yeah.
She
I'm
just
just-
wants to make sure that they work in conjunction.
I need to make sure I know what feature we're talking about because I actually don't remember that one off the top of my head. Harness Divine.
Oh wait, sorry,
Power.
anointment. So it's the Pantheon Domain is the anointment, and then the Harness Divine Power is the.
Right. So I remember the Pantheon you can swap spells out. Harness Divine Power lets you. Is that just a base cleric thing? Huh. Yeah. No. I mean, you could totally do that. That's more than legal.
Cool.
So that is just kind of burning your channel divinity.
So that I still have 3 spell slots, because I'd like to have 3. If I only.
Yeah, we're going
Which is
down.
more than fair.
Also, I did prep Flaming Sphere as the other thing.
Nice.
So I have a fire spell right now.
That's a little better than Prestidigitation.
I mean, it's also a level 2 spell. Prestidigitation you can cast for free.
That's true.
I don't know. My biggest worry is that we start a fight and a bunch of them escape into the forest, and then we just have to. We have no way to fight it.
If Noelle is correct and they do have a queen, they might be able to escape. But if we cut off the reproducing factor.
Oh,
Well, but the
cat.
problem is that we've been here to clear this area for the mines, which means if they escape, we can't guarantee they're not going to just come right back. And then we're just going to have to constantly come back to fight them.
We're level 4 right now, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm at.
Okay.
Oh
I'm just
my!
looking. I'm sorry. I'm looking at your
Am I
sheet for the first
behind?
time in a while, Cat, and I'm like, there's a couple
might-
things here that needed to be updated, but
I'm
you're
sorry,
good.
I might
You're
be
good.
behind.
You're good. It just said 3 on your sheet, and I was confused. Like, wait, what? How do you have 3 slots? What?
Oh,
It's
sorry.
good. God, it's been a while. So, you can do what you need to do, Cat. You can spend the channel divinity. You can use your. Wait, does the anointment use the channel divinity ability?
I don't actually know. This is kind of new territory for me too.
All right.
Um,
Let's see. What did that spell slot thing say?
that's what I was asking because
Let me double check here. That is not your channel divinity ability, no. The favor of the gods thing is your channel divinity.
oh,
So, you can use those 2 without an issue. Not a problem. Okay, so Cat's good. Anybody else have anything?
I don't think so. So I am in agreement with Barnaby. I think that's the only course of action here is to just keep moving on. I know it's worrying that they could potentially escape, but if they're going to do that, our best guess would be that they would do it through that upper tunnel over there. And if we go down the other tunnel, then we are presumably cutting off their exit. And if they have other ways to get up there, then there's no way we could have stopped them anyway.
Makes a good point.
I think we just have to be as sneaky as possible and utilize this stealth magic for as long as we can. And hopefully we can learn something. Maybe we will find a weakness, or maybe we can take the queen, this presumptive queen, by surprise.
We don't even know that they have a queen. We're just assuming.
I'm assuming.
Wonder if I'll be able to wrestle with it.
Would that count towards
Does
your
that count as
monarchy?
wrestling?
I mean, if it's a queen, that would technically count.
I just get
I guess so.
I get a strong worker drone vibe off of these things. It makes me think there's some hierarchy here. Anyway, let's go
So
down.
you're thinking
Hmm?
if we cut off the queen, then there'll be kind of like a headless swarm.
Well, not necessarily. I'm just saying. I think that there is a queen. That's all. I think we should go down the right path and head and descend and see what we find. I think that's the only way we're
Okay.
gonna do anything today.
Is there any way to set up a trap or anything on the exit, so just as kind of a backup? Do we have any way to do that, or
I
is
see.
there
Kind
any
of
way to do
trap
that?
you thinking?
I'm just. Does any of us have a trap setting ability, or are we just completely fucked?
I have high survival.
I got a shrimp trap. Oh wait, no, that's my barrel. Never mind. I made it into a barrel.
I finally realized why rogues are so handy.
Only just now?
Aside from being skill monkeys.
When was the last time we had a rogue in our party?
Arlo?
Yep,
Was
that's
it
been
like
a while.
4 years ago. Yeah, I don't have anything for traps. We're kind of. It's like, does anyone have any?
Okay.
What are they called? Caltrops or like a literal bear trap? I think that's the best we're going to do.
I got a fishing hook, a grappling hook.
A big fishing hook.
I got a fishing net. So I got a net.
It's not.
Not nothing.
Also, taking the time to set up a
I
trap.
hold up the hunting bolo.
The hunting what? Oh,
What?
Hunting bolo.
I will
I
also
just-
say that the clock is ticking on our pass without a trace too.
Oh, okay, yeah,
That
that's
is
probably
true.
better. We should just go then.
Let's get. Okay, we're gonna go down. And investigate the right tunnel, the one that's descending.
Does it come? Okay. So settling on your course of action. I guess what is the marching order as you guys approach this tunnel? It does sort of narrow. It's a pretty rocky and uneven passageway, and you can see that there's like a lot of netting that's sort of draped down on the ground for a ways before kind of sneaking up along the walls and ceiling. It's a pretty steep drop too. It's not like it's this clean rounded thing. Like there's definitely like some like 2 to 3 foot stone ledges you kind of have to lower yourself down. So it's going to be a bit of work to make your way down here without any web walking abilities, because you can clearly see there's like a path of webbing that's been laid.
I have a grappling hook and rope.
I could also turn into a spider and kind of go scout the way down.
That's not a bad idea. I don't. Is that worth using your transforming abilities for the day? I feel like we're sneaky enough that we could try to go further, and if things look unpassable, we can come back up.
I was more concerned because they're smaller, and John and Barnaby are larger. So I wanted to see what the terrain would be like for them.
Mm.
And I got some rope and I got a grappling hook.
I do
think we'll
too.
just use that.
I think she's more concerned about whether you'll fit.
Yeah, there is that worry.
The last thing that won't happen is you guys get stuck in the web and we can't get you out.
But wait, we know it's flammable, right?
Oh, I guess that's true.
We'll just light you on fire.
Careful
just-
though there, Barn Abbey.
Yeah,
You are
we'll just
also
fire.
technically flammable.
I'm
Not
less.
right now. I'm quite moist. This is a weird tunnel.
Oh, Lord.
You okay there, Pete?
I swear I'm gonna kick you in the shins.
All right. Marching order. What did we do last time? I wanted to be in the middle. I think
I think-
Barnaby was last.
Yep.
I think we should have Lauren go first this time.
Yeah, I was going to say I should go first.
I just love how Clark is the only one who ever proposes that. I think
I
Lauren
just-
should go first.
She has the good combat capability while being small enough to scout the terrain fairly well.
Yeah. She's also stealthier than most of us.
If I was a dwarf and I still was John's class and everything, I'd go first. Sure. But I'm not a dwarf. I'm a 10-foot tall motherfucker.
So do we want to do Lauren, John, Noel, Burberry, Barnaby?
Would be good. Also, Barnaby can shoot right over my head.
Seems like a good
Probably
option.
can't shoot right over mine, so please still be careful.
I'll tell you when to cover your ears.
How
Although,
far?
honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be shooting that down here.
Yeah.
How far
Powder's
down?
probably all wet.
Oh no! If you shot that down here, according to the air's description, we'd all go deaf.
Yeah, that and my powder's probably drenched.
How far does the hole go down?
I mean, you haven't like climbed in any water. Your powder's in a sealed container. It's not gonna be like fucking soaking wet and useless. The hole seems to sort of twist after about 30 feet. You can't really see how much further it goes beyond that because it's just like you hit the edge of the wall as it's turning downwards. So you're sort of spiraling.
Can we
down.
estimate the angle it's going down? Is it like a 45
Give
degree?
me a general intelligence check.
Sure.
That's not John.
Me very smart. I rolled 7.
7. Down.
I assist. You may roll again.
Yeah. It's not a 90 degree.
I rolled another 7. I think it's like
Math was not Noel's strong
I
suit.
7 degree. I don't know. I didn't do math.
I think we
1
tied.
degree and 20 degrees.
I'll
I
say
say
it's
we-
a very
Between
uneven
0 and
tunnel.
90.
It's a very uneven, staggered, like rocky descending tunnel. So it's not really an easy thing to eyeball.
I say we-
the angle of descent.
I say we tie the 2 ropes together, give one end to Lauren, and we lower her down so she can scout it.
I think we can safely say it's less than 30 degrees because if it was more than that, we'd probably start falling.
Probably true.
Because that's a pretty steep angle right there.
Is it just to the slope? Or...
That's out of character knowledge.
It's a sloped tunnel. It's not like a drop off. It's not a hole.
I thought it was a hole.
No, it's not a hole. It's a really rough,
It's
rocky,
like a ragged
descending.
staircase, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said there was webs on the floor?
There's webs on the floor until it gets really rough, and then the webs kind of go up onto the wall, and you watch as, for what you can see, they kind of like shift up and down, kind of following the smoothest, most even portions of the tunnel, presumably so that the spider people can walk along it.
Should we just burn the one on the section on the floor? Or would that create a lot of smoke that would let them know we're here?
I'm gonna guess that burning the web created a little bit of smoke.
The little tiny fragment of web that you burned, I mean, there's a little wisp of candle smoke that came off of it. It's not like it was a huge bit that you burned.
Although it didn't sound like it was like
I think the dry
super
bit.
flammable. It was just flammable. It just would light up, like how like a shirt
Yeah.
would light up.
Yeah, it's not like this is like primo kindling.
Yeah.
It's a
Have
sticky
we
fabric.
tested? Have we tested if we can step on it and get off, or if we step on it, are we stuck?
Good question.
Okay. John steps on it and then
Okay.
tries to pull his foot off.
It's very sticky. You are able to step off of it, but you can tell it's definitely going to take like effort. You might call it difficult terrain.
I see.
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
And if I was to chuck a Lauren, could I chuck her to the other side of the webs?
I mean, in theory, yeah.
Toss
Would
me
she
down.
let you? Probably not. Maybe.
Oh.
Actually, I don't
my
know.
girlfriend.
I said
Will
toss
I let
me.
you? No.
Do you want overhand toss or underhand toss?
Let's go
Fastball.
overhand. Let's make sure we get like the
Fastball
full
special.
distance.
We're
Okay.
doing a full like soccer toss of a Lauren to chuck and throw her
Yep.
down this tunnel.
And then
Not
the other
very-
thing is that if I do get
Doesn't
stuck, I can turn
anybody
into a
have
spider
staff?
and get out.
I don't.
Staff? I don't.
I'm going to toss you at like a flat angle, so when you are about to hit, tuck and roll.
Okay. This is gonna be an athletics check, right?
Okay. I just so I to clarify, Chani, you remember hiking on the fucking the window trail and shit, like going down those rocky steps?
Yeah.
Like this is kind of the sort of terrain you're looking at that he is about to throw you down. Just-
I give her the grappling hook so she can dig in when she's there.
Just letting you
Honestly,
know you're being thrown
Lauren's
downstairs,
Yeah,
basically.
wait, why are we throwing a Lauren down a staircase? How did this happen? How did we get here?
Because there's webbing on the floor at the beginning of the staircase that climbs up onto the
Ooh,
wall.
maybe
under
you
about 2
toss
feet.
me and like midair I turn into a spider and I like.
Okay, here's a question. Oh, uh-oh.
The whole point was to basically avoid you using an animal shape or a wild shape.
Okay, here's a
Fine.
question.
Okay, just toss me.
Wait, before we throw anyone,
You'll have to toss me.
Because that way we have a fighting power on the other side, while the rest of us are going through this difficult terrain.
before we throw anyone, can I try one thing?
Sure.
I just want to
ahead.
take my. I just want to see the consistency of this stuff. So I'm going to take out my
Okay.
rapier, and you said it's on the floor, right?
Yeah.
So could I like take my rapier and just kind of like scrape it and like twirl it up like spaghetti? Does it stick to itself enough that you could pull it off the floor?
Yeah, you could do that. I'll say it's not like a clean, smooth motion. It's definitely like it's very tacky, and like it takes a lot of kind of doing to actually get the rapier up underneath and like cut through before you can like get enough of it free to start like kind of. And it doesn't like twirl, it's just kind of like blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
before you just have this gummy, webby mess at the tip of your sword.
I'll scrape it on the rocks.
Um,
Okay,
yeah, so you just got like this wad of webbing.
that's going to take too
Out of
long.
it.
Just throw the fish.
All right. So
Would we have better luck if me and John done threw her together?
Ooh.
yeah, you can have advantage with that.
Sweet.
Like a whole
Do that.
Is
So
it a strength
athletics
check, or
check.
an
I'll say athletics from the two of you. This is like a gymnastics toss type of thing. Lauren, I'm going to need you to roll acrobatics to land this one.
Damn
Gotta
it.
skip the landing.
Oh.
You mean they're not just
Not
gonna each grab an
athletic?
arm and a leg and like do the swing
Oh.
back and forth?
So, and I'm going to
If-
say, Lauren, because you're landing on uneven, rocky,
I get
descending
disadvantage.
steps, this will be disadvantage.
Damn.
However, the higher their check
Uh,
is,
I'll
the
give-
better the
I'll
toss
give-
and the lower your DC will be.
I'll
Okay.
give a Lauren resistance so that she can have an extra D4 to a saving throw.
Well, it's not a
Okay,
save;
so-
it's just a check.
with
I know.
advantage.
16.
It makes me feel
Just in
bad.
case. 16 total.
Is it?
From... Oh wait, no. John should be the one who's rolling. I thought.
I'm rolling with advantage, right?
Why would we
Yeah, I
do
rolled
Never mind
with
my
it.
roll.
With advantage. I got a 25.
Cool. Really solid, even toss with Barnaby and John. So, Lauren, go ahead and roll your acrobatics with disadvantage as you are hurled down.
Well,
this,
So
this
if I use
fucking tunnel.
inspiration, do I still have to take the lowest of all three?
Oh, you should
Um,
it's only two. It's only ever two.
If you
There's
use
never
the
a-
inspiration, it
it would
negates the
cancel out the
disadvantage.
disadvantage. Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry,
you would
say
take
that
the
again.
first.
If you
Oh.
use inspiration, presumably you would just take the first roll that you had then.
Yeah. Yeah, because that the source of advantage would cancels out
Okay.
disadvantage.
So, which is hilarious because my first roll is also the worst roll.
Mm.
And it was a 2
Ooh,
plus 2, so I got a 4.
4.
We just kill.
He rolled a 25. I wanted a 5. All right, Lauren. Maybe just because it's like it's dark and it's a cave and you're just like, oh god, you're throwing me, and like as you're sailing forward, you're realizing, oh, this is a lot steeper than I initially thought.
That's
And-
information we needed.
Rather than like catch yourself on the cave wall and brace the way you were hoping to, you hit the wall and bounce and hit a rock and like continue to kind of tumble down a few steps. Just boom, 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 boom. So you're gonna take some bludgeoning damage. You're gonna take 2 bludgeoning damage from that fall.
It's hardy.
As you scrape your knee and get a boo boo. You're very lucky.
You're gonna hear me down the thing going, "Ow!"
That goes up to you.
The spiders would not understand what they just heard. What kind of animal is that?
Fish.
It's a fish.
For what it's worth, you're not super far into the tunnel, and pausing to listen, you don't really hear anything responding to that echo as it fades away.
What was the plan after this? part?
Lauren, you've been tossed over the initial doormat of webbing that was at the foot of this tunnel. You are now on the rocky steps with webbing on the walls next to you, and looking down, you can see that this passage continues to curve, not quite corkscrewing. It looks like it sort of straightens out up ahead a little bit, but just because of where you're currently standing, like you still can't see further than maybe like 50 feet down the length of this tunnel.
Okay.
It's a relatively open passageway. It's maybe like not super high up over your head. It's probably like 8 feet tall in its tallest portion. So your big boys are gonna have to hunker down. But it doesn't seem like there's any like tight crevasses or anything that you're having to pass through. It looks like the webbing just sort of slowly winds its way along the passage, avoiding difficult rocky terrain on the ground, and just leads deeper down into whatever this nest is. And it's quiet outside of the echo of your fading cry of pain.
Okay.
There is no sound coming out of this tunnel. Just the drip, drip, drip
Ooh.
of cave water.
I'll just stand over underneath one of the dripping water things to hydrate my skin.
You see
Wait,
Did you
was it-
break
was
the
it-
butt?
you see one stalagmite, kind of like a little one, kind of like poking down at the tunnel, and just kind of like poke your head under, and after like a minute, one tiny drop hits your face.
I'll respond to Barnaby like, "No, I scraped my knee, and it hurt."
Relay to the group. She scuffed her knee, but her butt's okay.
The booty survived the fall. Everything's good.
Thanks for the update.
So what are you doing, Lauren?
Standing under a stalagmite. And
Cool. All right. What's the rest of the party doing?
Well, if she gets outside of
Yes.
30 feet of us, we lose pass without a trace.
So,
We're gonna go through the difficult terrain. We wouldn't we lost it by the time we got out of it.
I'm gonna
It-
carefully start walking through the difficult terrain.
cool. It's sticky. You feel your feet sticking to the web as you walk over it.
Oh, wait.
It's work to walk over it, but you
But
are able
before-
to relatively painlessly make it across and into the tunnel and begin climbing down to where Aloran is standing.
Could I actually tell somebody to toss me down a rope?
John will toss the rope.
Okay.
Alright,
And
there's
then
a rope.
I want to secure it to like a rock down there so they can use it to help kind of like, and tell them to secure it up there so they can use it to help like guide themselves down.
Okay.
Noel, maybe you should make a dash mark in chalk to say this is the way we came from.
Sure, yeah. I'll quick mark the wall. I think I'm just gonna head down too. Whoever goes last can hold the rope.
I'll hold it.
All right. So Noelle proceeds down and joins Barnaby and Aloran on their rocky step where they
I'm Barnaby now.
and
John's
excuse me, Burberry.
It's
John's
happened again.
Joke's
John's
on
gonna
you,
take
David.
very
I'm
hard-
Barnaby now.
No, you're Burberry.
John's gonna take very large steps through the difficult
I'm
terrain.
blueberry. That's cranberry.
Don't talk about boysenberry though. He's
John, I will say, with your tremendous strength, it's definitely not going to restrain you. You can feel by any means, but it's it's like walking through wet sand or mud. Like it's you're having to really like kick your feet up to pull off and make your way over this mat of webbing.
Once
So,
these three start checking his boots.
yeah. There's like a handful of web threads that are like stuck to it, and they're like covered in gravel and shit. So it's
He's gonna
Yeah,
like take his knife and scrape it off.
yeah. Icky. Ugh.
My
All
nice clean boots.
And eventually, Barnaby will descend as well, gathering the rope up with him as he comes. And you guys are now in the tunnel, 10 feet down
We
from
did
the
it.
chamber. You've advanced. Will you continue?
Yes.
All right.
No, we'll turn
What's
back
the
now.
marching order?
Say, what
Barnaby
is
It
and
was
the
a
Lance.
well spent 17 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So Barnaby's back,
disagree.
Joel in the middle. Lauren and John up front. I'm taking it.
Lauren, John,
And
Noel, Burberry, Barnaby.
gotcha. So heading down under the guise of Aloran's Pass Without Trace spell, very carefully clambering down these rocks. After probably the initial 30 or 40 feet, as you reach the point where the mine shaft starts to straighten out a little bit more, it just kind of like wavers and bends up ahead, but doesn't like curve the way it does initially. You see it starts to level out a little bit as well. The angle grows less steep, and the rocks beneath your feet grow slightly less ragged. And Aloran at the front of the party, after advancing, say, another 50 feet down this tunnel, you can see up ahead through the winding rock that there is a drop off up ahead, an opening where the rock walls and ceiling around you fall back away, and you're kind of staring at open space up ahead, dark and featureless.
It's the abyss.
That's a hell of a
They're
drop
back.
off.
This is just like a narrow sliver through the tunnel that you can see up ahead. That is just like, okay, there's a change now. Probably 50
Can
feet
I-
from it.
Okay, I'll just keep walking towards it.
Yeah, I think we'll just keep going.
As you draw closer to it, Lauren, you will hear sounds, faint sounds, beginning to sort of make their way up into this tunnel towards you. This
You say it's
echoing.
super dark?
It's what?
Did you say it's super dark?
You have no light source on you. It is pitch black.
In that case, I'm gonna hold Noel's hand.
All right.
I do have dark vision, but thank you.
Oh, you do? I'm sorry. I thought you did. I'm so used to you fighting.
Get rid of your hand. Don't need
What are you doing? I can see fine. But yes,
You didn't.
No, I have it because Aloran gave it to me
Well-
today.
Oh,
Barnaby
okay.
doesn't.
for
Okay.
the next
Noel,
eight
can
hours.
I hold your hand? I'm
Barnaby
scared.
doesn't have dark vision?
Barnaby does not have dark vision.
What?
I guess that
Interesting.
is. Well, I'm holding Barnaby's hand.
At least I don't think so.
Interesting.
Never mind, I do. Never mind.
Oh,
I was like, he has
Oh,
to.
You're a goblin. All goblins.
I'm a
enjoy the dark.
hobgoblin. Thank you.
John's like, Noel, can I hold your hand? I'm scared.
Sure.
But yeah, so Aloran up ahead, you can see that there is a drop off where it looks like the passageway opens up into another chamber. And you can
Well, we
hear
all
the
got
sounds
hands.
of chittering and movement kind of echoing up ahead.
Can we sneak up
I'm
to it?
gonna tell everyone to silence and have a sneak up.
All right. So signaling shut the fuck up to everyone in the party. We're going to roll stealth checks. Let's go.
we're off to see the Hive Queen.
Really good.
We're
How
about to
long-
get the Hive Queen.
Natural,
She looks like a bitch.
Natural
Um,
20, bitch.
How much longer of Pass Without a Traces left?
Or like, Clark, how many fucking natural 20s have you rolled this campaign?
Or
More than that.
I feel like you
on-
roll one every
wait,
second at least.
wait, hang on. Okay, hang on. How many on useful things?
Okay, I'm just curious how many in total at this point, because it's like at least one a session.
I don't know. Argue with the dice roller app.
Give me that link. I want to see his credentials.
It's the
Check that source
wizards.com one.
Oh, the Wizards one.
34.
34.
If we still have pass without trace, that's a 26.
Okay.
Oh, for
Oh yeah, I
sneakies?
guess Clark, what is your total then? Because that's gonna be
If we have passed without a trace, then I have a 32.
32. Okay, so 32, 26, 34,
31.
31.
Those are good rolls.
Lauren, what was that?
25.
25. Wow, the lowest of everyone.
Yeah.
We'll attribute
No,
that to you
if we're
being at the
worried
front of
about
the
Clark-
party and the most visible. But
If we're worried about Clark, I'll just lend him my dice that rolled 3 nat ones in a row.
I got. I only got the high because I'm holding hands with Lauren. Gee.
If this thing has a passive perception higher than 25, we're in trouble anyway.
Lauren, you step up to the precipice and see the Eldritch Spider god laying in wait.
Lol.
Its passive perception of 95. All
Berber
its
immediately
eyes staring
stops
at
and takes notes.
No. Okay, so
In the cavern, you see
Stepping
Tiamat.
yeah,
What?
the all-seeing.
Those miners ain't gonna get their mind back.
Turns out that's
We're
that's
leaving.
That's who.
Goodbye, everyone.
Turns out that's who Burberry is worshiping is Tiamat.
There's a
Just
twist.
calls down the incarnation of Tiamat.
That is one of them. Not my
Oh.
main squeeze, but certainly one of them.
I love all the gods equally. So, Alora,
No,
at the front of
I
the
don't.
procession,
Ah,
you will
kiss.
see stepping up to the edge of this tunnel and looking down. It's not a super far drop, but now that you're closer, you can actually see the ceiling a little ways ahead, the stalactites kind of dripping down. It's probably like 10 feet down to the ground. There is a trail of webbing. The trail from where you entered has now like sloped off the wall back onto the ground and is now like descending along the wall to the cavern floor. And looking into this chamber, you are seeing that there are a number of these sort of dark depressions in the ground. And sort of scattered around the perimeter are a number of large spider webs. And with your passive perception at a glance, you can clearly see that there are 3 pretty big spiders, just like straight up big spiders, just kind of sitting, chilling in their webs. Looks like they're just camped out, hanging out in this chamber. And in addition to them, you can see that the hunting party, or maybe another group perhaps, that you glimpsed earlier, is currently sort of gathered around one of these dark pits in this room. Each of them sort of clutching a small packet of webbing material held close to their faces, and listening in, you can hear that there's sort of a mixture of chittering and chirping and fairly frequently a very uncomfortable slurping sound coming from this little group. They're all just kind of sitting, kicking their legs and enjoying themselves.
there's-
A nice sack lunch.
So there's 3 large spiders, and how many of those guys down there?
You count 4 of them. And they are, as far as you can tell, completely oblivious to your presence in that upper tunnel.
Are there other
John,
exits we
I'm
can
gonna-
see?
Eggs?
Sorry, exits. How many eggs
Exits.
can we see?
Eggs. No eggs. Exits. Looking around the perimeter of this chamber, it looks to be a fairly large, sort of circular cavern, and it doesn't seem like there's any tunnels necessarily. But you do see, again, these dark pits that sort of open up throughout the cavern floor. There's probably like 5 or 6 of these. These spider people are sitting on the edge of one of them, having their lunch. The others are just sort of sitting there, still featureless, like can't really see into them or make out any details inside. But I'll say, for the sake of out of character clarity, this looks sort of like a room that might have once held a number of like pools of water that have, for one reason or another, been completely drained and are now just laying empty.
Okay.
I will relay the information, and then I'll also make a joke to John about this is where he goes and like jumps on all four of those like spider creatures.
John's
scenario.
face goes full white, pale sheet.
I don't like it.
John is not a fan of spiders.
100 gold
Oh
to.
come on, you'll just get caught in a web. It's fine. I can turn into a spider and get you out, bud. It's cool.
So
Just get
what you're
drained of all
saying,
your bodily fluids. That's all.
what you're saying is you're going to increase John's trauma by adding another spider.
Yes.
But this is a friendly spider.
I don't suppose we have any oil or anything.
So just to clarify, sorry, I don't remember if I'm misremembering, but I remember there being more of those scouts or whatever. Is this me misremembering, or was there always 4? I thought there was more than that for some reason.
No, there was 8.
There was okay, not misremembering. So 4 of them are somewhere else.
Unless this is just a totally different group of dudes.
Okay.
Like the 8 that you saw earlier may have moved into a different part of the hive. Like you didn't keep constant eyes on them. There's no way to say, but there are currently 4 Spider-Men sitting around having lunch.
Okay.
Kicking their feet.
I was confused because I was like, wasn't
Basically,
there
there's at
8? And then
least
you said
4.
there's no exits either, and I was like, where'd they go then?
Yeah.
So there's at least 4 more.
There's definitely
Somewhere.
more than 4. I think those pits have more.
Ah,
So what are we doing?
final answer.
Praying to Octoglot.
Let's go kill him.
Do we
Whoop,
just
whoop.
jump down? Because these things are aggressive, and ambushing has been very productive for our group.
Wait, I can turn into a giant spider and like crawl towards them and kind of like trick them because
Tap down
obviously
beside her.
they're chill with spiders because there's like 3 over there, and I can be the 4th spider and then like get close and then I can like web them up.
Or you could turn into a blue whale and make it drop you on that.
Something tells me the things that are spiders that make web are probably not affected by web. Just going to point that out.
Excellent point. Okay. Well, anyways, I can sneak up as a spider and sneak attack them.
How big is the area again?
This chamber is probably like 60 feet across at its widest. It's kind of oblong. So probably I'll say like a round-ish 60 by 40 sort of chamber, and the ceiling is kind of varies from like 20 to 30 feet high.
Are there any large stalactites up there? Or stalagmites?
Give me a perception
Are there
check, John.
chandeliers?
The name of a very large formation in Carlsbad, in fact. Gigantic. But yeah, perception check, please, John. And disadvantage because it is pitch black right now, so you're relying on dark vision.
Okay, that would give me a 14 then.
14? Okay. You can see that there are definitely stalagmites, or stalactites, excuse me, hanging from the ceiling here. They don't look like they're huge, but they're there. They're in there.
And it's a decent enough fall that they would hit a pretty heavy if they were to fall on something low.
They're not that big, no. They're fairly young-ish looking.
Well,
Maybe the miners have dynamite.
I don't know what to do.
Just fucking bomb the shit out of all these fucking.
It would probably work. Okay.
I mean,
They did give you all the equipment you could ask for when you
That's-
wanted to come down. They didn't have any dynamite.
Here's
on them.
my
They
only
gave you that
proposal.
stuff.
wait, they did have
Did not.
they did have the flare though, didn't they?
They
Didn't
did
have
give
flares.
us 2
They did give you flares.
Okay, here's a proposal. What if we don't just jump down there and fight them? What if we try to ambush them? We head back up this tunnel and just start making a bunch of noise like miners, and when they come up, we attack them. That way that we're funneling them to us.
True. Based on their size, how many of them can fit through the tunnel at one time?
So they are easily half your size.
Or maybe when they're
John.
going down the tunnel. we
They're
stretch
shorter than a
those
lord. They're probably like 3.5, 4 feet tall at the tallest. Like they're not big by any means.
So I'd have less trouble if they were bigger.
So Kat knows something about insects that she just rolled to see if Burberry might know, and he rolled a nat 20. So there are some things out there that don't actually have hearing, but they can feel the vibration. So it might be that they were attracted to the vibration of that miner's picks and not the sound of it.
I don't know. I think I'm good with luring them to the tunnel because I feel like they could maybe do 3 at max coming through at one time, like 1 on the wall, 1 on the ceiling, and 1 on the floor. And I feel like we can defend ourselves easier like that than if we just get in a big old brawl with an open space.
Yeah, see what my concern is we start fighting and then suddenly these pits all have 4 more of these guys in them, and there's 5 or 6 of those pits. So suddenly it's 30 versus 5.
I'm totally I'm totally with you on not fighting in a big open area. I think the tunnel's a good idea. I think we should have Mr. Gun Pew Pew on watching the ceilings though.
I ain't gonna be using the gun. I'm gonna be using the longbow here.
Mr. Gun Pew Pew.
Phil would be better if you'd watch the ceiling.
That I can do.
Are there any bits of cave that we've been through that have a 5-foot diameter?
Like exactly, or like at least, like what's the criteria you're looking for?
Is there a
exactly?
choke, basically?
A choke point in the tunnel?
Yeah. Well, and the reason I was asking about 5 feet specifically is because the spell Flaming Sphere makes a 5-foot in diameter sphere,
Gotcha.
so you could plug the hole.
I would say not like. There's not any one point of this tunnel that is like especially narrow compared to the rest of the tunnel. It's just like it's uneven and steep at the beginning before leveling out and kind of smoothing out.
That could actually be good for our escape plan, because the crevice to get into this chamber was pretty narrow, if I remember correctly. Like John had to really squeeze through.
It had to fit me.
So
that
if we
would
are
definitely
running for our
fit to stop.
lives, you could close it with a flaming sphere potentially.
Yeah, like it's narrow enough that John and Barnaby kind of have to like hunch and duck their heads in places.
And in this scenario, actually 6 foot to 7 foot would be fine, because I'm not sure about you, but I myself cannot squeeze through a foot wide gap.
Maybe sideways.
Yeah,
but with the thing in front of you was giant fire, you
Yeah.
would not be very inclined to do it.
I would not want to stand a foot away from lava. Okay, so let's go back up the tunnel. We're still stealthed, and
you know what's
the sooner we move, the less
character.
chance that things are gonna sneak up behind us.
Was it?
out of character? Is there an earthen sphere instead of a flaming sphere? Is that a thing?
Probably not. The reason that the Flaming Sphere is a good spell is because it also affects things that are within 5 feet of said sphere, and not just the things that the sphere
You could
touches.
probably stone shape just a big rock ball if you wanted.
It's true.
Because it
wouldn't be.
It just feels
useful.
like it would be a hand spell to be able to summon a boulder like
Well,
that big,
what-
and then just drop it on crap.
There's not summoning one, but there is move earth and stone. It's not stone shape. There's another one that lets you like move stone around.
I'm just kind of surprised there isn't one
think
that
that
just
might be
summons like a
stone shape.
boulder that you can drop on crap.
I thought that
Because
was the thing
there's
that could
wall
make
stone
you
and there's stone shape.
You could push
Anyways,
a wall
sorry to
of stone
distract
over. Unless anyone has any objections, I really do think we should go back up the tunnel.
Yeah.
Unless we really want to fight him in this chamber.
How far up the tunnel should we go, though?
Let's just go back to where we
Does it level out at the bottom and the top, or is it only level at the top?
Bottom and top. The place that you're currently standing, there's like a 50-foot stretch of relatively level but still downward slope tunnel, and then once you get back, it begins to get more steep and starts to curve, and that rises for like 30-40 feet, and then you get back to the mouth of the cave, and that's probably like 10 to 20 feet away from where
So you thinking top of the tunnel or bottom of the tunnel?
I'm thinking top of the tunnel, and frankly, if we are committing to this plan, mainly because that actually gives us ease of escape if we have to, if things start becoming overwhelming. Also, if it's vibration or if it's sound, like Burberry proposed, I think, Barnaby, if you just fire your gun once, that may give us everything we need.
Yeah, I'll probably do it.
Okay. My only thought was if we do it at the bottom of the tunnel, we might be able to kick them off the ledge so that they...
It's only a 10-foot drop.
yeah, it's not a very long way down.
Oh.
A 3d6
For some reason it felt...
Well, and
That's still a decent amount of damage.
I mean, that's what you got for throwing a Lauren.
Is that really 2 damage out of 3d6?
It was a d6. 1d6 for 10 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 3d6. I was like, that's a decent amount of...
No. 1d6. So, back to the top of the tunnel. The party about faces and quietly makes their way back up. So, how do you want to set up your ambush as you re-emerge into the initial chamber?
Lauren, what weapons do you have?
Scimitar.
Okay.
She's got
I don't know.
cantrips for fighting too, though.
What?
I said she's got combat cantrips. I don't remember what, but
I just wasn't sure because I have a javelin and a hand axe. I wasn't sure if she wanted something that was a little bit more range. So
I've got a battle axe. Well, 2 technically.
okay.
like how Barnaby just keeps pulling weapons out of fucking.
If we
I
have
didn't start with a
sheath
lot
of
of
holding.
weapons. I started out with a light crossbow, 2 battle axes, and a longbow.
if
you
we
put
have
all of them on your back. If you turn
It's
around,
all mixed in with his
your
fishing
armor.
gear.
Yes, you can't tell a fishing rod from an axe.
It's got like a golf club bag, but it's just
Yeah.
It's fishing
Exactly.
rods and battle axes.
who of us besides me is the most proficient in melee combat?
I am proficient with all weapons.
I mean, so like John has a +7 to hit.
I got a +8 to
+6.
range.
I have a +6 to hit in melee, though I prefer to not be there, for I'm a lot smaller and squishier than you are.
I am also very
Okay.
squishy. It feels weird to say.
So Lauren's only really
Technically, I don't.
combat oriented when shifted, right?
I mean, I'd say likely you're going to have a bear by your side.
Well, I don't know. Is she gonna fit side by side with me if she's a bear?
How big is this chamber?
I'll say a large creature would probably not fit into the tunnel very comfortably. They could squeeze, but it would be slow movement. The chamber, yeah, you can fit a bear easily. There's plenty of room.
I thought we were doing this in the tunnel. Are we doing this in the chamber?
I thought you were doing this at the mouth of the tunnel.
That was
in
my
the
proposal.
first
So we
chamber you
don't.
entered.
If we're in the tunnel, then if we have to back up, we're got to go through the sticky stuff. If we're in the chamber,
No. I thought we were for the sticky stuff.
right. But
In
if
the-
we need
in the
to
initial
escape,
chamber.
we have to go through the
is
sticky
that
stuff.
already? Sorry. No. I thought we were already on the other side of the sticky stuff. Like there. So the way that I thought it was going was there was the chamber, and then there was this little small section of the tunnel at the entrance, and then there was the sticky stuff. I thought that we were at that small little entrance part before the chamber.
Nah, you're divvying it up too much. So you've got the chamber. The chamber's got a pad of webbing doormat at the mouth of that tunnel, and that is basically a carpet that goes into the tunnel and then kind of onto the wall and winds around. And that tunnel goes for a good 100-ish feet, kind of winds downwards, and then opens up into this pitted chamber down below where you are currently, or not
Okay.
currently, but where you saw the creatures having lunch.
I was totally figuring on this on being in the tunnel. That's why I was confused. So
Okay.
So for Cat's clarification on a up to down, the pit's gonna be down here, and then there's a flat section before the sticky stuff, and then it's the stairs that go up, or the stairs that go up are the sticky part.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I'm
Right.
asking.
No,
Okay,
when,
let
when
me.
you get
It's
into
okay.
like a multi-chamber,
Someday you gotta
area,
have start using battle maps.
Okay,
All right.
let me tell you the reason I'm asking, and that'll help. So I was debating setting the sticky stuff on fire. However, if we do that, the smoke's going to want to travel upwards because that's how smoke do,
Oh,
and I don't want to block off our breathing path.
That's
So
not as
we've
much of an
got-
issue.
We've got the first chamber where you guys came in, right? You've got your entrance to the mine shaft, and then you've got the tunnel entrance, right? You've got the tunnel itself. There's some sticky padding right here at the mouth, right? That goes into the tunnel, and it's like this, and it kind of twists down and then like this way towards the camera. And the sticky stuff goes on the floor, and then it kind of goes up on the wall, and then you get all up in there, right? And
Yeah.
it threads its way down into the tunnel, and then eventually you come out at the bottom of the tunnel where it kind of levels out, and you've got another chamber that it opens up into.
Sorry, the reason I was
So
confused is 'cause
chamber,
I-
tunnel, chamber.
the reason I was confused is because we were giving an option left or right, so I assumed there was like a
There's
small.
a second tunnel in the first chamber that goes upwards. You guys have
Okay,
not
so
talked about that.
they lead off the chamber in different areas, not like you go out one door and then there's two paths left or right.
Correct.
My proposal was just
So that
we
was
head
where I
back
was-
to our first chamber we were in and just lure them to us, and we just snipe them when they enter the room.
Okay,
You mean the pantry?
that's fine.
Yes.
Okay,
How high
the
is the
pantry
end-
chamber?
How high is the end? How high is the entrance into the pantry?
You have to duck your head to get into that tunnel, so it's less than 7 feet.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like a wide like ceiling
It's
thing
it's
that
not
would
a
let them in.
huge tunnel. No,
There are 2 points they can come from.
It's walkable, but it's
Okay, that clears up all my confusion. Okay,
All right.
okay.
Back
so
to the
then
pantry.
yeah, there should be plenty of fine
So,
with having a.
in the
There should be
pantry.
plenty of fine with
What are
having a
you
bear.
doing? Yeah.
So I think it should be me and Bear, and then the other 3 on rear support, aiming for anything that's coming in high or in the back.
Okay.
Okay. So bear
Does that work?
and barbarian hanging out next to the tunnel entrance.
I don't think it has to be too complicated. I think.
Okay.
Anything coming in on the ceiling gets shot down from the guys in the back.
So the rest of the party will back up away from the tunnel entrance. Aloran, I take it you're going to be cool with playing the bear.
Unless there's a better one you can ship.
So, y'all take your positions, and what are you doing to lure these creatures up?
I think it's the best idea is to have Barnaby go in and pump a shot down the tunnel, and then sprint back.
If he's okay with it.
I think that's probably our best option. I can't see an immediate problem.
And we should definitely, if things start getting bad, do not hesitate to say as much and retreat. We are pretty close to the mine, and as long as we run as fast as we can, I think we can get to the the elevator pretty quickly.
We need to decide on a rear guard if we are going to go back or escape. Then
I'd like you're volunteering.
it'd be me or
There you go.
Lauren. I
Yeah.
just wasn't sure.
No. Either works.
So, Barnaby, you want to step up? Is this this gunshot plan?
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna
should-
just point
John's
my
playing
gun up
his
in the air and pew. Let out
John's
go
fucking
pew.
ears.
So, pulling the trigger, there is a
Noelle has her ears
deafening
plugged.
boom as this shot goes off, and the sound of it just reverberates in this chamber. I'm going to need the party to make Constitution saving throws, as
But Johnny
this
has his ears
sound
plugged.
threatens to deafen you, because it is loud as fuck down here.
Well, I don't know what the DC is, but I got an
John
11.
had
11. Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
24. No, 22.
4, 22.
22.
Okay.
I plugged one
bad.
ear. Does that give me any benefit?
If
How
plugging
much?
John
both
had
ears
both
doesn't.
ears plugged.
I got a 7.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What was it? A Constitution saving?
Are you already in bear form or are you in a Lauren form?
I think I was still as Lauren. I don't think I had changed yet.
Okay.
It's because Barnaby didn't have another finger in his ear. That's an 11.
Ooh. All right. And Burberry.
19.
19. Okay. So, Burberry and John, your ears are ringing, and you're like clasping the sides of your head, covering your ears immediately in response to this deafening sound. For Noelle and Barnaby and Aloran, all
get
of
knocked
you are
unconscious.
temporarily deafened, as this sound is so intense you almost feel yourself almost whiting out for a moment, and all you can feel is just your whole body trembling in response to this vibration, and you can't hear anything else. So for the time being, the three of you are deafened and cannot hear what Burberry and John are able to hear, which is immediately, as soon as that ringing in your ears begins to settle down, you can hear the sound of scrambling feet and frantic chittering, faint through the potential hearing damage you may have suffered, but definitely approaching rapidly up the tunnel. You probably have a few moments to prepare before they arrive.
John is going to level his glaive at the entrance and take
Okay.
a battle stance.
I'm gonna go,
Burberry's
what?
gonna go ahead and cast Shield of
I
Faith
can't
on
hear
himself
anything.
real quick.
Burberry's going to do what now?
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, cool.
When I see Burberry do that, I'm like, what?
Oh,
Any
and
action
then-
anybody does,
and then-
Lauren's
and then-
just gonna go,
right
what?
in your head, the chittering cometh, except it sounds like very comedic.
What?
And then I'll say even louder at Burberry, what?
What?
Noelle will get a, I believe they are coming. And then Barnaby will get a.
You see the mouth moving, but like
Well,
it's
so a
just
message.
ringing in all your ears.
Should
Oh
we
yeah,
break
message
before
is
the combat?
an audio thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, it is. Oh,
it's
fuck.
not telepathy. It's an audio message.
It's like
Well,
whispering
in
in
that
someone's
case,
ear.
you'll hear nothing.
Yeah, it's a whisper. Yeah, like you can feel the tingling of magic targeting you, I guess you could say, but it's definitely just white noise amid this horrible, painful static in your ears right now.
Okay.
Eventually, you just see Burberry just point in the direction of
Should
the
we-
inputs.
As
Yeah.
my
Should we break before?
my battle prep thing. Sorry, I was just gonna say Noelle's gonna. She can't hear herself, but she is going to, as confidently as she can, recite this new poem and cast mirror image.
Okay.
I'm speaking a little too loud.
What?
Give me like a basic, just like charisma check. I'm curious how bad this comes out.
Really good. 22.
Okay, yeah, it's a little loud, but like her speech is just as eloquent as ever. So everybody's got their buffs up, and seconds later you see the gleam
I haven't turned
of.
into a bear yet.
You want to turn into a bear?
I have a question. Is turning into a bear, is that like a vocal thing, or do I just like do it?
That's just a thing you can do, just like at will. It's a bonus action. No spell components required. Just fucking boom.
Okay, and then after I see everyone do their like get ready for battle, I go, oh, okay.
As
I'll turn into
yeah,
a bear.
everyone's very loudly talking through the deafness. John and Berber, you guys hear the sound of those frantic footsteps and chittering and clawing coming up the tunnel, and see these 4 small forms rushing up along the webbing towards all of you. So we'll take our break here. We'll come back at 10, and we will open with an initiative roll.
Okie dokie. Going to break.
What?
Okay, alrighty.
Okay, we're good. Let's roll initiative.
Let's fucking roll initiative.
The music says so. Hey, not bad for once. 20 total for Noel.
17 for Barnaby.
10
21.
for Burberry.
All right.
John got a 21.
20, 21, 10. Oh wait, 10 was a Burberry. Noel was a 20
total.
Barnaby was what?
17.
17. And a Lauren. Hun,
16.
I cannot hear you if you're
16.
16. All right, 16 for a Lauren. And the creepy crawly spider boys got their number.
We've got their number.
I don't want their number.
All right, so
We don't have their number. We know it's more than 8.
top of the order.
No, it's exactly 8.
John. These spiders are rushing up the tunnel towards you guys. They're probably 10-ish feet away from you at this point. You are currently standing outside of the threshold of the tunnel, so they can't see you, but they can see the others kind of standing at a distance in the chamber inside, kind of luring them in. So what are you going to do? What's your play?
So I don't know if I can do this. So you're gonna have to tell me if this is not okay or not.
Okay.
Can I bonus rage and then hold my attack action for
Yep.
as soon as the spider pops through the hole?
That's fine.
So as soon as I'm gonna rage, and then as soon as I see a spider come through, like start to come through the hole, I'm immediately gonna just stab it with the glaive.
So John is just like raising the glaive and then flexes, like everything pulses out. The veins start to poke out of all those muscles, and his eyes are just like, I'll fucking kill something. And he waits. Like a spider.
The silent rage.
Yeah. So you will stand waiting at the ready. Noel, you're
Okay.
next with a 20. You see these spiders clambering along the web, making their way off the wall down to the floor and hurtling through the tunnel towards you.
So 2 tunnels. They're coming down both.
It's just the one. It's just the one tunnel. Clearly the ones that you just saw have now
So
rushed. Up
only
the
one
tunnel
of the
towards you.
tunnels has creatures coming towards it.
Correct.
Okay.
The other one is still empty as far as you can tell.
Cool. I am going to if they can see me, I can see them. So I'm gonna take a shot then.
All right.
Hand crossbow. Just trying to hit one. Terrible. 10.
And to hit.
Yep.
That will not hit. Your shot whizzes into the dark and clatters against the cavern wall next to them as they drop down onto the webbed floor and begin to run forward.
Well, I don't hear that, and I can barely see it, so I'm gonna assume I hit.
You're just like, yeah, nailed it.
Yes.
Do you want to move?
Nope. I will stay next to my back row compadres.
Alrighty. Barnaby. What do you want to do?
Going to put away Bertha, and I'm going to take out my longbow.
Okay, good call.
And I'm gonna. Are they still not within sight?
We can see.
So
'em.
they are probably 10 feet from the mouth of the tunnel. And y'all never really exactly specified, but I assume you'd probably be at least 30 feet from the mouth of the tunnel, roughly,
Yeah.
back. So,
So if I could, I don't know if I could see him out to that distance. with
you can
dark vision.
see at to 60 feet with dark vision, yeah.
Okay.
I can see him.
Okay. Then I'm going to take a shot.
Alright, roll to hit.
That is a 24.
24 definitely hits. Give me some damage.
All right. That is a 9 damage.
9 damage. Very nice. So, one shot from your longbow whizzes into the tunnel, and you can see a spray of viscous fluid bursting off the chest where this arrow makes contact with one of the creatures. You don't hear the screeching, chittering sound it makes, but Burberry and John do. It is very unpleasant sounding. Do you want to move, or do you have anything else you want to do on your turn?
I mean, I'm deafened, so I don't know if I'd be able to hear that.
You can hear shit right now.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna play it like normal, like I can't hear that, and I'm just gonna stand my ground.
Alrighty. That will take us to Aloran. You are a bear currently, and you would assume these things are getting close. Your friends are taking shots into the tunnel now. Do you want to take a look inside? Or do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'll take a peek.
Alright. So poking your head around the corner, you definitely see there are 4 of these small spidery creatures rushing along the web towards you guys. And they see you now. And you see their little pincers moving beneath their beady eyes, but you do not hear what they're saying, if anything. John and Burby will hear lots of frantic screeching and chittering at that. So do you want to
Will I get caught in this spider web if I like?
If you step into the tunnel to attack them, you will be standing on spiderweb, yes.
Here. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna like prepare to attack if somebody comes into range.
You're basically going to do the same thing that John's doing.
Yeah.
So you like kind of poke your head out. You're just like, shh, I'm gonna get you. As these things are rushing forward. That'll take us to Burberry then.
So the section we're on doesn't have webbing on the floor.
Correct. You could find yourself a spot that doesn't have any webbing. It's kind of broken up. There's some places that have a little bit, and others that are like bare rock. So.
Okay,
No
and
issues for you.
do I see how many are coming down the tunnel, or?
Yeah, you can see. There's 4 of them. It looks like that are rushing up the tunnel towards you.
I was going to talk with people, but it occurs to me that I can't hear them.
You can hear. You
can
and John
hear.
are the only ones that can
We
hear.
just can't.
Well, or rather, they can't hear me, so I wouldn't get any feedback either way.
Fair,
Well,
yeah.
You can talk to John.
That's true.
Not that anyone really knows who's deaf and who's not
That's
beyond.
So Burberry goes, should I set all the webbing in the tunnel on fire?
Is the webbing... I'd say prepare to do it, but don't do it yet.
Okay, in that case, I will cast Guiding Bolt on the spider thingy that is closest to us.
Okay.
It would be better to light it on fire if we're about to escape.
There is one that has been shot by Barnaby, and there's 3 that are unharmed. So you want to...
It's whichever one's in front. That's the one that I'm...
That would probably be the Barnaby one. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Guiding Bolt.
No. Well, actually, maybe.
That one's about to get hit by both John and Lauren, so if Guiding Bolt only helps you...
I mean, it's a one like person spell, and it's a range spell, so it's a whopping 8.
8 definitely does not hit.
I didn't think it would.
Another flash of light as a bolt of holy energy arcs out of Burberry's hands, and again over the shoulders of these small spidery creatures, colliding with the cavern wall behind them. Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I'm good. I'm just gonna try and make sure that I'm in the back.
All right.
That seems
So
like
through the barrage of arrows and magical energy, these creatures come rushing forward. The first one out the gate is got an arrow sticking out of his chest, and John and Lauren have your attacks at the ready. Who has the higher dex here?
Probably Lauren.
Okay.
My dex is 14.
My dex is actually 15.
Oh shit! All right. So John, first attack. Go ahead and roll to hit with your.
Are you using the
attack here.
bears or?
Oh
yours?
shit! No, I'm not.
I think bear has 30.
Bear doesn't have a lot of dex, I don't think.
Really?
Not 15. It's a bear.
Oh, I don't know.
They're
For
not-
some reason, I thought the
They're not
bear
nimble.
was. Well, they're pretty fast when they want to
Good
be.
ride a unicycle.
They're fast, but they're not like agile.
bear on a
Yeah, there's
Oh
usually
yeah, no, the dex of the bear.
So John,
okay.
first hit. Give me a roll.
Yeah. So I get a +6. Do I get a bonus to hit on
No,
from raging, or is that just damage?
that's just damage.
Okay, I couldn't remember. So let's see. That is a fucking math. 17 plus 6. I don't
The hit that definitely
Three.
hits.
know. Okay, I was like, I can't math right now for some reason.
All right, simple math I'm good at. Just throw it at me if you need it.
If it's over 20, you're definitely hitting these things. Trust me.
Okay, and then this is the first time I've hit, so I'm not sure.
That's fair.
1d10 plus 6.
Good damage. Good damage.
Uh,
Roll
Why
high.
do I feel like it's supposed to be 1d6 plus 7?
It's a 1d10 with the glaive. I'm pretty confident.
1d10 plus 4. Okay, I was trying to.
Damage.
7 kept popping in my head and I couldn't remember why, and then I just remembered it's my minimum damage I can do when raging.
Right.
That was why I was really confused. I was like, why am I thinking of 7?
That's at least. Yeah.
That would be 15.
15 damage.
Yeah.
And that is a solid hit straight through the middle of this creature, killing him instantly. The remaining 2 rush out, or 3, I should say. One of which will be caught in the claws of Aloran as she takes her swing. Go ahead and roll to hit Aloran.
Okay. 1 second. Phoebe knocked my dice away. So I rolled a 15.
15 will hit.
And what am I supposed to add to it again? I can't remember.
It would be the bear's attack bonus, which is a +5.
5. Okay, so 20.
And it is 1d8 plus 4 with the bite and 2d6 plus 4 with the claws. Whichever way you're using. Presumably the claws.
I was just gonna do the bite first.
Well, I think with a ready attack, you can only have one attack go off.
Okay,
Okay,
well,
so
I chose bite, and I rolled max hit.
Ooh, okay. So
Yeah.
12 damage, I believe that is.
Yes.
Sick. All right. That is one very grievously injured creature who will turn to you and just very frantically been swiping at you with his own claws. So he is going to make a number of attacks here. That's a miss. I'm pretty confident. That's a 1. Yep. There's a hit. All right. So 18 plus 4 definitely hits. You take a whopping 3 piercing damage as this creature scratches you on the nose. The other 2 creatures are going to keep running.
Stop right there. As soon as one of them leaves my range, I'm going to get my
You
sentinel
used your
back.
reaction as part of your ready action, unfortunately.
I did?
You did, yes. That is part of readying an action. So, they are going to keep running.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that was reaction. Okay.
that's part of a reaction.
That's good to know.
They are going to keep running. One of them is going to jump on the fellow who just shot their friend, Mr. Barnaby. You're going to take some attacks.
Yep, figured as much.
That's a miss. That's a 10.
So often I'm glad I missed.
That's another 10. This is a terrible dice. Fuck this dice.
I'm okay with that. Keep
No,
using that
keep
dice.
That's better. 15 plus 4 is 19. So you are going to take... good damage. A fat 6.
Ow.
As this thing scratches you across the face. The other creature is going to run towards one of these two who are currently standing beside you. And that is probably gonna be well, actually that's a good point. They just saw one of their friends get killed by the two big bruisers next to the door. I think he's actually gonna run at John.
Okay.
Because John dealt the killing blow. So, one hit. That will be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right. A 13, which I don't think hits.
Nope.
Oof. Oh, God, they're rolling fucking terrible. So, John, you take 5 damage, which will reduce down to 2 with your resistance.
Woo! Ravaging.
So that
So I
will
agree
be
with the spiders.
their turns. That will take us to John, top of the order.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna swing and chop the one that just hit me. After
Do
throwing
it,
a little spittle in
motherfucker.
his face before.
Roll some hit.
Okay. Oh dear God, this is not gonna hit. That is a 9.
9 doesn't hit. This little bastard's like right up under you, just like swinging his claws, and it's kind of hard to get the leverage you need to like really fucking chop at him. He is dancing up all on your shit, and it's real frustrating. You're kind of having to step back and then push him off to really get a good angle on him. So,
I rolled
do you want to
3.
move or do anything else? Oof, that's really rough.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to like sidle around him so that I can swing and attack the one that's attacking Barnaby if with my reaction if he attacks Barnaby again.
Okay, you're a
So
little
I'm
far
staying
from.
with- Wait,
You're a little
what?
bit far from Barnaby, standing next to this guy. If you wanted to back up, he would take an opportunity attack, but you could probably still reach him potentially. If you got like another 5 feet back.
Okay. Even with my reach, I'm that far away.
You would need to back up to incur or risk the opportunity attack, I should say, to get closer to Barnaby for that.
Barnaby, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
He's taking 6 damage.
Also,
I
he's
don't
got the
know
two
how
healers
large his-
standing right near him.
I don't remember how large his hit points are, so.
He is the second highest in the party.
Oh, okay. Then he's fine.
I am a fighter.
I'll just stay where I'm at then.
All right then. That will take us to Noel.
Okay.
There was one grody spidery man on Barnaby currently.
How close am I to Barnaby? We're kind of all bunched up in the back, aren't we?
Yeah, you would have been, I don't know, 5 to 10 feet-ish. Like, you would need to stay fairly close to him so that you have a line of sight on the tunnel to shoot into it.
Okay.
Unless you're behind him, I guess.
I'm going to trust that. Well, this one's close by. I'll trust that John can take care of the one in front of him. I'm going to take out my rapier and step up to. I guess 3 Noels are going to take out their rapier and step up to this creature and try to slash at it.
Oh shit.
16?
16 hits.
Sweet. It will take max damage too. 12 damage.
12 damage. God damn. Yeah, that's a big chunk of hit on him. He is still standing, but he is not looking good. That is a very deep puncture in his creature. He kind of like stiffens and immediately its head like whips over to look at you as you do this.
All three Noels just like take the rapier out.
A little flick of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what. Anything else on your turn, or are we moving on to Barnaby?
That was move action. Nope, I'm good.
Okay, Barnaby. There is a tiny Spider-Man all up on your shit, and Noel has just shanked the shit out of him. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not appreciating that, so I'm just gonna feed him an arrow here.
All right. Do you have a feat for close range?
I do.
Shooting?
It's called the gunner feat.
Oh shit! Is that a gun in your hand?
All it says is being within 5 feet of a hostile creature doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged attack roll.
Oh shit! I've been told. All right, yeah, go for it.
Please don't fire a gun. I'm right here.
What?
Another bang. What?
What?
The upside, we can't get any more attack.
That is 11.
11 does not hit.
Oh, wait, no, that's not the hit. That was damage. Excuse me. That is. Let's see. 9 plus 8. That's 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
I rolled the damage first. I thought I would just hit.
Well, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I forgot. But
So, give me your
anyways,
damage.
11. All right, I'll re-roll the damage. Let's see. That's not as good. That's 8 damage.
8 damage is still gonna kill him.
Dead eye.
Yeah, right in the face. He drops. You immediately knock another arrow and take aim. There is one in front of John and one in front of Noel. Or, Aloran, excuse me.
I'll get the one in front of Lauren. That is a. Let's see. 25 to hit.
That definitely hits. Give me some damage.
And that is 10.
10 damage. Right through the back of the head. Aloran, you watch as an arrowhead just kind of appears inches from your nose as this chitin drops to the ground motionless.
What?
Confused bear noise.
Anything else, Barnaby?
Gosh dang it, Lauren, you're deaf, not blind.
What?
Yes, I'm done.
All
Turns
right.
out she's also seeing stars.
That will take us to Aloran's turn. There is one chitin remaining standing, and he is standing in front of John.
I kill it. Will I attack it?
What do you want to do?
Attack it?
What's that?
Good strategy.
Attack it?
I don't know
Okay.
why,
Oh, gotcha,
but
gotcha.
I just imagine this bear walking up behind it and snapping its neck. Because the way that she said "I kill it" just made me think of that.
I just kill it.
Yep.
Just boom.
It's possible with multi-attack.
Roll to hit, give me some damage. There's a good chance you will.
Okay, that was a 19 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay. So I'm gonna claw the fuck out of this thing first. Alright.
So, attack on your turn, you can use both of your attacks.
Yes.
So, first the claws, then the teeth.
I think the first one is 10 damage.
And big swings as your claws rake across his back and his body stiffens. You go in for the kill. Roll to hit with your bite.
Wait, do I have to roll a hit for the bite?
Yep.
Okay. $16.
That'll also hit. Give me the
Here.
damage.
Another 10.
Another 10 and another dead chitin as you crush
Can I
its
rip its head off? Because I bit it.
and tear
I
it
just
off its body.
Yell.
Just and a headless chitin corpse
The
flops to
Lauren
the ground
special.
at John's feet. It's really turning into that. And within seconds, the 4 creatures lay dead at your feet.
What?
Your ears are still ringing a little bit, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll
within
stop.
the minute, your deafness will wear off, and you will be able to hear once again. So, taking a moment to collect yourselves and survey the spoils of victory. What do you want to do?
These things got a lot of eyes.
They do, yes.
Hmm.
Just get back my creepy cave music. Now that the fighting's over. Yeah, looking at these creatures, they have 6 eyes, kind of like the face of a dice. You've got not that one. That one says fuck. This one, like these, just 3 on each side, running down the face. The mouth is a pair of these very sharp-looking pincers. They have long, pointed, almost elvish ears that kind of have these little tufts of fur at the tips. Thick mane of dark, coarse hair that kind of runs off the back of the head, down the back, and sort of blends into the gray fur. It's almost like bristles that cover the rest of the body. They've got very long, spindly arms, gaunt, sort of emaciated rib cage figures, and these long-toed, clawed feet, kind of like a bird or a lizard's almost. About 3 or 4 feet tall, small, thin. All of them now leaking this viscous, milky fluid from their various wounds and dismemberments.
Well, that worked. Sort of.
That's gross.
We don't hear
Right.
any other creatures approaching, I take it.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. And we're gonna give you disadvantage because you're still kind of getting the ringing out of your ear.
Don't worry, I rolled a 5.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah. You don't hear anything.
I mean, that's a 10, but yeah.
Yeah.
We head down the tunnel again.
More. Oh, they're glorious.
No, I don't do that.
I don't like it.
More spiders.
I mean, we are sort of like, why not, right? We might as well.
Stop metagaming, cat. Oh.
I'm legitimately not. I typed in the word spider monster into Google.
Yeah, I figured that probably would pop up eventually. For the record, that top one, 100% what it is.
Woo! I didn't actually see the page for it, so you're good.
It's fine. I already said it on accident, so it was no big deal. They're pretty
So like spider goblins.
kinda taller than goblins, definitely.
Goblins.
It's goblins.
Goblins.
Actually, no, I really don't know what it is because the photo, the description is jumping Spider-Man. So, like, you're good.
Welcome to the nest of the Spider-Men. Yeah, you delve deeper.
That's a good question, actually. Shall we? We know
Yes.
what's down one tunnel.
I say
Oh,
yes.
I mean,
Just no more guns.
I guess I'll just give like a thumbs up as a bear.
That hurts.
Let's
Bears do
hang.
have thumbs.
Let's hold off on the guns. That was
That was
a little
more
louder
than
than expected.
I guess we're going to go down this tunnel and see what the results are of what we just did.
And we don't need to toss the bear this time.
Ooh, actually,
We have to
Lauren,
push the bear.
I do need you to make a concentration check for me because you did technically take some damage.
Wait, why do I have to do this?
You got scratched on the nose.
Oh, for passing out a
So you,
trace?
yep. You might have dropped concentration. I don't know. We're about to find
Okay,
out.
so what do I have to?
You would add your bear's constitution modifier, the constitution save modifier for the bear to your d20 roll.
Would that be the +3?
Yeah, if he doesn't have a proficiency, then it would just be whatever his score is, his
Okay.
bonus.
16.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, cool. Pass without a trace is still up. You're good. So yeah, continuing back into the tunnel. Aloran, you still want to be at the front?
Yeah.
It's a squeeze. It's this big old bear.
And we'll be using the
fill up-
bear's stealth check too.
You fill it. Yeah, you'll fill up the bulk of this tunnel, and you're definitely having to like shoulder your way through, because it is tight for you. This is not built to accommodate a bear by any
Weird.
means. Yeah, it's funny how that works. So you will be moving at half your speed as you squeeze through a space that is fitted for a creature smaller than you. And as long as you're standing on a web, you'll be moving at even slower speed, quarter of your full speed. Oh my god! So it's a real struggle initially for Lauren to get her way into the tunnel, like sticky paws, like not fitting through. You like really have to suck in your gut, and
This is-
eventually
Straight up Winnie the Pooh.
Can we?
you guys are like just shouldering the butt, and eventually
Yeah,
she
honestly.
fucking squeezes through. And
Yeah, the entire time I'm just fucking grumbling. The entire time we just hear roll.
and
And then I want to say, like, you guys can consciously see when I'm like sucking in my bear gut and then like letting it go out.
Like rolling your
So-
stomach. Just.
slowly ambling your way back down the tunnel towards the chamber, following Aloran's very large bear form. Let's get stealth checks from the party again as you approach the egress.
20 total for Noel.
20 total. Oof.
14.
30.
How did you get a 14, David?
Oh wait, do we still have pass without trace?
Yeah.
I thought it got took out because of
No,
combat.
she's got it. She rolled a 16 on her check.
All
She's
right,
fine.
then that's a
24.
yeah, that's 24.
Okay.
I got a 19.
19.
Oof.
Okay. John,
Sorry, I missed it. What do we do?
what is
Stealth
your
roll.
stealth check
Stealth plus 10.
as you guys follow the bear down the tunnel?
That would be a non-natural 20.
Total. Okay.
Are we gonna be able to see into the cavern?
Alora is the only one
Or
who
did
can
we
see in
put
front of
the
the front of
only
the party.
non-vocal party member at the front?
Uh,
Never mind.
you guys want to back up?
It's too late now.
Like Aloran stops and it immediately just starts backing up.
What
This
do you
bear
see,
blood
Aloran?
just begins.
You guys get bear ass in your face. You're like, oh god.
I'll be a Lauren seeing eye cleric. Why not?
Okay. So approaching the front of the tunnel and looking back down into the pit chamber, you can see that the 4 creatures who had been enjoying a lunch are no longer sitting down there, as they are presumably dead in the chamber above you. You can see their sack lunches laying on the ground next to where they had originally been sitting, slowly leaking some sort of liquid that's sort of just oozing out of them onto the ground. The spiders that were in this chamber are still in their webs, but they are, it seems, slightly more alert. You can see their feelers beginning to kind of like tap and pull ever so slightly at the strings of their web. And you see one closer to you kind of like shift the head every now and then, just kind of like looking around. But at the moment, thanks to your magical spell, it does not seem as though they have picked up on your presence at the mouth of the tunnel.
How far away are the sack lunches?
From the mouth of the cave where Lauren's standing there, probably it's not quite the middle of the chamber. It's probably like the middle off to like the left. Probably like 30, 25 feet, somewhere in there.
Do I think I could get it while staying within the pass without a trace range?
You could try. The problem, though, is that you're literally just walking out into the open. Like, even with the benefit of that spell, you have no cover whatsoever. Like, Aloran at least had the benefit of being high up and like kind of hunkering down to hide from these spiders. But if you climb down there and you're out in the open, like they're gonna see you.
Should we just lure him back up again?
If that didn't do it, I don't know what would.
I find it unnerving that they had sack lunches.
Why?
Little
It's
roundish
probably fine.
bumbles
It's
of
probably just the
webbing.
PB&J.
That's not.
Like a big webby juice box. It's now just like slowly leaking out.
But still, just
I don't
like
like
it's
it.
it's almost like we killed them on their lunch break.
They're eating people.
Their sack lunch was a bit of
They're
Fred.
eating the miners we're working for.
You do raise a good point.
We're so pathetic.
At this point, maybe the best course of action is to just keep on the onslaught. Like, me and Barnaby could probably take a clean shot at a couple of those spiders.
I could set the webs on fire.
Actually, me and Berber and Barnaby could, if you have that guiding bolt magic.
I do, but I have to say, my luck with it has been very poor. I believe I've tried shooting it 3 or 4 times, and I don't think I've hit once.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Thank you very much, Joel. I appreciate
It came
the
out more
vote of
dickish than I
confidence.
intended.
I would never think that you'd say something dickish, at least not to me.
Definitely not to you.
The strawberry. Continue.
Sorry, I mean, unless someone's opposed, at this point, like, we don't see any creatures moving, right? Like,
Well, Alora doesn't. The
Oh,
rest of
right.
you are just staring at bare ass.
Can I, like, scooch in the side of the bear? Climb forward?
You have to you're squeezing against her to get through.
Here, I'll lay down. I'm gonna lay down. Okay, so somebody can climb on top of
Sure.
bear.
So Noah has to straddle the back and pull herself up over the hump of the bear and look down over oh yeah, there's some spiders down there.
It's dark as shit. So, I just want to look for any signs of movement, like if there's anything waiting to ambush or something like that.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
With disadvantage.
While I'm also there, can I
3.
be looking for stuff like that?
Alora,
You
don't
see
have dark
spiders.
vision.
You see spiders and webs. That's all you see.
Okay.
Aloran, go for it. You want to give me a perception check? Oh, question: Does the bear have dark vision?
No,
I
but
fucking
Nope.
that's the reason I said I'll be your seeing eye cleric, because I'm at the head of bear. Anyway, but she does have an excellent sense of smell.
That is true.
Oh,
Well,
could you
might not be able
smell-
to say where they
Oh, yeah,
are.
you could see if you could smell more of those, whatever they were called.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good call.
You could make a
Okay,
perception
yeah, I'll do
check with
a.
advantage to smell things.
Okay.
I'm sure she got a good whiff of the spider boys.
Snuff.
26.
26. Very nice.
Also, fun fact: apparently bears have a better sense of smell than wolves.
They have bigger
True.
noses. That doesn't surprise me.
And a more sensitive oral factories.
Yep.
So, with a 26, the bear, blind as a fucking bat down here, takes a deep breath. You can smell the damp, cool air of the cave. You can smell the faint scent of these creatures. They have kind of a musky, dry, almost fruity smell to them. Very like faintly kind of wafting up from the spot where they were eating, as well as it kind of smells like there's some scent coming up out of some of those pits as well. Um, you catch notes of very like pungent acidity. Uh, it's not like a huge amount of it, but it's definitely like a note there that you pick up is in the room. Um, this very acrid, sour smell. Uh, it seems to be kind of coming from the middle of the room, more or less. Uh,
Where the
and
goose pouches are.
presumably, you can't see them, but you assume that's what they might be. Uh, you can also pick up the scent of the webbing in the room that has a sort of um, gluey, adhesive sort of smell to it, and obviously, you know, the spiders. What the fuck spiders smell like? I'm running out of descriptors.
I could hear the
smell
lack
these
of
things with
adjectives.
They
smell.
smell hairy and like leggy and just gross.
You smell
you
a
don't like the smell
spidery,
of the
spidery smell.
that smells
I feel
smelly.
like spiders would smell like Dale.
You know,
I hate the mental image of sniffing a
I've
spider
I've
because I
never
feel like it's just gonna
smelled
go
a
up my
spider.
nose.
I wouldn't even know.
I don't
Oh
want
my
to.
God.
I like it's just gonna go like all the way up, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, you can
no.
smell.
All right,
You can
God,
smell a
stop.
dead
go
one.
to Petco and ask to smell the tarantulas.
Um,
It smells like wood chips.
I feel like tarantulas smell kind of dusty, don't they?
Yeah, generally.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what you pick up in the room.
So that might be because a lot of times whenever you think of spiders, they're usually in dusty places.
Okay, do we want to
So
try?
pretty much what I got is that there might be more of these other creatures in here. In the pit. What are you
I
I will
choking
say
on that?
it's
Bear.
the scent of these creatures is not like strong, but it does seem like there's some of these pits seem to be emanating a faint scent of them.
I'm gonna assume there's spiders in those pits. Well, not spiders and spider people.
You're right.
How big are the pits?
They vary in size. One of them is probably just like a 10 by 10 foot, kind of like amorphous sort of shape. One towards the rear of the room is pretty big. It's probably like a 30-foot long, almost like it might have once been like a pond of some kind. Like I said, that's empty. These look like they might have been like water pools down here that are all dry now. They kind of vary in shape, and they're just sort of scattered around the room, just kind of notably dark against the rocky ground around them. Like they clearly are descending into something. But from where you're standing, it's hard to get an angle of like how deep and if they change at all.
Burberry is going to whisper, Lauren, if it does come to running, you'll probably want to drop being a bear, because I imagine turning around would be quite difficult for you.
I manage, and then I'll try to turn around.
You say as a bear.
Well, I mean, since you were Winnie the Poohing it, I'm like...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot Noelle's on top of me. Poor Noelle.
Whoa.
So Lauren like backs up and tries to turn around. Give me an acrobatics check
I just get like
with
shoved into the
disadvantage because
ceiling
you're
cavern.
currently like very tightly squeezed in this tunnel.
Go into the shoulder!
Yeah.
Okay, actually, it was a 14.
14. You like try to turn like a somersault, like just a twist or something to get yourself turned around, but it is just really like uncomfortable and tight in this space. Like if you got all these jutting rocks and shit, and every time you like you try to like push forward and the shoulder catches, or you like twist and you know your back is catching on something else. It's just there's not enough room here to maneuver to turn around. Unfortunately, you are currently stuck facing forward until you guys decide how to proceed.
Like
You hear-
like a whining rumble.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We could either head back, and take a look at the other cavern or the other tunnel, or we could just try and take out these spiders now. We could surprise them with 3 different long-range shots.
I think we should just take them out over here.
I'm sort of in agreement.
They weren't very hard to fight, so.
Those were the spider people. These are the regular spiders.
Yeah.
I don't
These are
know
just regular old
how farmer scenario.
3 foot wide spiders. Yeah, no
I
big
don't know
deal.
that they're going to be much different.
I mean, we are being paid to kill all these things, so we're gonna have to
You do make
eventually.
a sound on them. You can make a smell with prestidigitation, can't you, Noel?
Within a short range of her.
I'm not sure if that's thaumaturgy or prestidigitation.
I'm pretty sure you can make faint odors.
It's
Yeah.
also
Like harmless sensory effects, I believe is what the
creates instantaneous
verbiage
harmlessness
is.
such as a shower, sparks, puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor, but it's a 10-foot range.
Mm.
I was going to say, it's a pretty short range.
Yeah. No, I was thinking odd odor like that of a fly.
I was going to say
I mean, we already have the drop on them.
I say you just take pot shots and I chuck a javelin and we see if we can hit them. And if they come up at us, we'll fight them.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about if there's anything behind us, but
Can't really do much about it now.
Okay, so for Kat's clarification, Noelle is on top of Aloran.
Yep.
Burberry is in front of Aloran.
Okay.
Are John and Barnaby behind Aloran or in front of Aloran?
I would assume behind, because you guys all said you were following her down the tunnel.
So,
Can
is there a
Lawrence...
spaceship that Aloran can walk out onto so that they can get
Is it? Well, it's a 10-foot drop.
Yeah.
So if we're doing this, we're committing.
No,
And
I know. I'm saying
She
but
is
there,
technically
like, a
standing on the
ledge?
webbing right now, because it does kind of shift off the wall and onto the ground so that it can spill out of this tunnel and down to the cavern floor.
There can be like a little shelf before the drop, right?
Alright, just
I
in
mean,
the interest of
if Aloran-
prudence, sorry, I'm pretty sneaky, so I'm just going to go back up the cavern, and I'm just going to check behind us to make sure I don't hear or see anything that's about... Like, I'll just go right to the edge of that 10-foot goop entrance area,
Okay, sure.
and I'll just sit in silence for a moment and listen, and take a look.
Okay, yeah. Give me a perception check.
Is this with disadvantage or without? Because I did say I want to listen.
I would say at this point the deafness, the ringing in your ears has faded enough that you can hear normally.
Okay.
So.
May I join to assist?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was relevant. That's perception 20 total.
20 total. Yeah.
Just want to make sure there's no like sound of those spider boys.
Quiet.
Okay.
Trip, trip.
Back down the tunnel. Me and Burberry go.
Okay.
Are we going to kick this off?
Can our 3 big people use this time to get themselves arranged in a better format?
They could definitely try.
Because it's going to be really difficult to shoot around Aloran if they want to take pot shots from the gate.
The problem is there's
I'm
no
gonna
way
try to like back out of the entrance, and then I'll just kind of like stand guard in the back and
Cool.
like
So
kind
you're like giant bear ass is just bearing towards John and Barnaby, and they're like having to back up like to avoid you like stepping on them. Like I'm telling you, you take up this whole fucking tunnel. It's not that big, and you are squeezing for a lot of it. So
okay. Well, then I will lay down and motion for everyone to get in front of me once I make some
As bear rug impression.
Okay, Okay.
Like John and Barnaby are like having to like army crawl across your back.
Yep.
Okay.
I love how you're doing this all with Pass Without a Trace up, so it's like dead silent in here. But God, if anyone could see.
This is beautifully awkward.
So, getting yourself situated, John, Barnaby, you are now in front of Aloran. Noelle and Burberry will have an easier time squeezing around, and you guys can get ahead of her.
Okay.
What do you guys want to do?
Lauren, could you make a perception check?
Can you make a perception check?
For things. Don't worry about it, it's fine.
Just
oh,
a general perception check from Aloran. The cat is
Okay.
asking for her one. Gotcha.
Okay. Is there anything specific I'm looking for, or?
If you notice something.
Okay.
Actually, I guess I don't even know if this is like a roll thing, because like you've got passive perception.
Yeah, my passive perception's very high. I notice almost everything.
It's true. It's a 17.
Yeah.
I think.
That's actually what I rolled too. So.
Do you think that's enough?
Roll a dexterity check.
Oh. Burberry
Me?
explodes.
13.
13. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
The only reason I was like, maybe it should be a thing is because it's hard to tell on your back.
Yeah. I don't even really know how to describe it, I guess.
Not bad.
This is weird. Yeah. As Burberry's clamoring over you, you just feel there's a lot of sharp little nails kind of digging through your fur. Like a lot. Kind of an excessive amount.
As Burberry's climbing on the
Yeah.
door? Lots of nails?
It's very awkward. Like there's just like it just feels like you're just being groped like all over, like the as this tiny little lizard
Whoa,
man
Burberry.
is kind of awkwardly clambering over your back. And it'll probably hit you after a moment. There's several points of contact that you're feeling as he clambers over you. That is not entirely possible. You don't think?
It's two people. So I feel like 4 sets of like feet and hands.
Kind of starting to feel that way.
Oh, okay. As a bear, I'm gonna be like, ooh! Just
Gasp.
big bear gasp.
The
And then
bear
if
says
Burberry
big
ever
gasp.
communicates with me while I'm still in bear form, I'm gonna ask a question.
So, the party is assembling to take shots at these spiders.
I would propose.
What's the plan?
If you're willing to contribute, Burberry, Guiding Bolt, Barnaby, Noelle, in that order. If Barnaby does not take it out, then I can aim at it, and if he does, then I can aim at the second
John.
one.
The way you
John,
said that made
no.
it sound like Burberry's just called Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt, Barnaby.
Yep, that was my stripper name in college.
John has the javelin.
That's how Barnaby got, or Burberry got through seminary. Stripped.
Guiding B.
Yes, I was a devout follower of Venus that semester.
So we're thinking Barnaby, Burberry.
I mean, it's initiative, but
Well, I want to line up our shots and just like.
Sure.
So Barnaby, Burberry, Noelle, and then John, or Burberry, Barnaby.
Who's taking the first shot? Just roll your shot, because you got 3 spiders in this cave.
I got a 19.
19 will hit a spider for sure. Give me some damage.
All right. That is That is 8 damage.
8 damage. That is an arrow stuck in the back of a spider, which lets out a low hiss from across the chamber. And it begins to descend its web, quickly scurrying towards the tunnel from whence this shot came. So, who's shooting next? Since you guys
I guess I'll shoot
currently
it.
at the drop. All right, Noel, give me a roll.
Also 19.
That'll hit. What is your dex?
What is my dex bonus
Yeah.
or total?
You might kill this thing instantly.
Oh, plus 4.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, this is the dead spider for sure.
Oh.
He had like 2 health left. So a second arrow sticks in it, and it just legs straight out before slowly curling in underneath the body as the rigor sets in. The other 2 spiders, sensing this, also begin frantically scurrying along the walls of the chamber towards this tunnel.
18.
That'll hit. Do some damage.
You need cattails. 15.
15 will
Damn.
instantly kill one of these spiders as Guiding Bolt finally connects and just blows the legs off of this creature.
And is there a third spider?
There is one more spider, that is correct.
John's gonna chuck a javelin at it.
All right, roll to hit.
That would be 15 to hit.
How much?
15.
15 will hit. Go ahead and give me some damage.
And that is 1d6 plus 6.
It would just be 4 because you are no longer raging.
I'm not raging? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it ends the turn that you don't take damage or make an attack. So
Right, okay. So that would be a total of 8 damage then.
8 damage. The spider lives. I'd say roll initiative, but he's probably dying in a second. He rolled not terrible. Okay, he's gonna fucking just like take that hit and immediately drop off the wall and begin scurrying towards one of these pits, cause that hurt like a bitch. So he's going to reach the lip of one of these pits and begin clambering down, taking cover. So, as this is happening, what are the rest of you doing? You see the spider is dropping down and fleeing you. Are we giving pursuit, or are we standing our ground here?
I think
Alone
we should
sees nothing.
back up. I think we should go back up to the tunnel to the initial spot.
But for what reason?
I feel like he's gonna go call back up.
I think you are overestimating the spider's intelligence. I'll
We
just
start to
take
go
a,
down
I'll
the
just
hole
take a,
suddenly.
like, can I
Oh.
just take an action to perceive to see if anything has changed? Like, just listen if any creatures are coming.
Yeah, give yourself a check.
15?
15. I mean, the only sound that you're hearing as you watch this thing bolting down this hole is the sound of his legs creaking and clattering, and this very, very faint, pained sort of chirruping noise that it's making.
As much as I hate to say it, I think we have to go down there. I mean, not down the hole necessarily, but we do need to we need to start looking around. Because there's clearly more here than we're seeing. But I should definitely not be the person to go first.
All right. Go ahead.
He's not voluntary. So, you guys just gonna let the spider fucking flee, and Barnaby's gonna hop down after a little deliberation and make his way towards one of the pits, one of the dead spider. What are you banking for, buddy? What's your play?
Once I see the
I'm thinking of
Barnaby's,
taking out the spider, yeah.
You want to chase after that spider?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably the best.
So hurrying after that spider towards the pit where it began clambering down, you can see that this pit actually descends and arcs out and starts to level out. Sort of, it looks to be another tunnel, and this spider is very quickly making his way along the floor of this tunnel, trying to get the fuck away from you. Just scattering out of sight, and it is just like pulling itself under the kind of the upper angle of the ceiling to the point where you can't get a straight line of shot on it from standing up here.
Hmm.
Could he
wanna
take
keep
a
go- you wanna
shot, or
keep
is it
going?
just no chance you could see it?
By the time you get to this pit, you catch like a glimpse of the legs as it's just scurrying down the tunnel out of line of sight.
I hate when that happens.
You can keep going. You want to hop down the pit?
Yep, hop down.
All right.
I'm already this far.
Hoisting yourself down, you can feel that there's definitely webbing along the walls of this pit as you kind of roll down it. You're not really sliding so much as sticking and turning. Um, slower probably than you wanted, but definitely hitting the bottom within seconds and very quickly leveling your bow. You have time to get your shot off. This thing's probably 10 feet from the next bend in the tunnel. Go ahead and give me another roll to hit.
Let's see. Ooh, that may not hit. That's a 7 plus 8, so 15.
15 will hit.
Hey, all right.
He is not wearing armor. He is just a spider.
That is not great. 6.
6. I believe this one's been javelined, correct?
Yeah.
If I
Yep.
remember this correctly. Yeah, that is going to be enough to kill him.
Phew.
That is another dead spider. Congratulations. There's a feather in the back, and he too contracts into a ball of sad, crunchy legs.
All right.
They are crunchy.
When I hear him say they are crunchy, I will slide down as well. Or jump down, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna start stealthily looking around at these other pits.
Okay.
Even though we're kind of out in the
guess-
open.
Yeah, give me a stealth check, I guess, as you're kind of approaching these tentatively, looking
Will
around.
this exit the pass without a trace bubble?
As you approach them, yes, they will.
Okay.
So,
Normal stealth check. 16.
16. Okay. So, approaching these pits, a couple of the ones nearby you can see are not terribly deep. They seem to be sort of steep, but eventually sort of level off after about 5 or 6 feet. The darkness in them seems more to be just kind of the recession into the ground that is kind of sort of obscured your line of sight on them. But these two have bottoms. You kind of pass those and take a look at the one Barnaby hopped down, and that one appears to be a tunnel
Okay.
that he is sort of standing at the bottom of. Looking past it towards one of the neighboring pools or pits, you can see that this one is another sort of shallow bottomed one, but just far enough away from your vision that it was just too dark to see what was at the bottom. And the two
Just
at the very far end of the chamber.
Out of curiosity, before I move on, for one of these shallow bottom ones, could I just like toss a rock in and just see if I can hear it like hit the floor or like roll down another tunnel or something?
Yeah, you just kind of toss it in, and it just kind of makes this clattering sound as it slides and rolls down the sides and comes to a rest. Sounds like solid rock.
Okay, so there's 3 that are not tunnels so far and 1 tunnel. Is that right?
And the remaining 2 that you find at the other end of the chamber both descend into tunnels,
3 tunnels.
also lined with webbing that spiral off in different directions.
3 spider tunnels, 3 holes.
Lauren would like to use her smelly smells to see
Very muffled, hon. What's up?
I would like to use my keen sense of smell as a bear to figure out which tunnel the spider people went down. Like which one smells the most like them.
Okay, that's fair. Go ahead and give me a advantage perception check. Also, question: how are you getting down from this 10-foot drop as a bear? Are you just gonna fucking tumble down, or what's the play?
I'm gonna try to slide down on my butt.
Okay, it's more or less just sheer wall covered in web, but go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Okay. 10.
10. It's probably not as graceful as you envisioned, but your butt kind of catches on the webbing a little bit, kind of shifts you as you sort of wall slide down. A little bit of rolling and tumbling, and eventually kind of land on your side. But you get down safely. Dust yourself off and step over to these pits. Make your perception check for me. And let me take a look at what you're going to see down there. Or smell, I guess.
26.
26.
I
Okay.
have the smelliest smells.
Let me smell all the smelly smells.
So, taking a sniff at these pits. The first pit, which was nearest to the fleeing spider's position that he fled down into and Barnaby pursued him through, that pit has the faintest smell. Do you want to hop down into it and inspect it further, or you just want to stay up kind of in the cave and check
I'll
these pits
stay
out
in
one
the
by one?
cave right now, one by one.
That one has the faintest one. The other two towards the rear of the chamber, one has a very damp, kind of mildewy smell to it, mingled in with the scent of these spider creatures. The other one smells very strongly of creatures and has a similar sort of acrid, acidic smell to the little lunch pouches that have been left on the ground. And I will say that kind of staying there with that 26 and taking some deep whiffs, some real lung-filling sniffs of these tunnels, you begin to pick up more nuances amidst these scents and are able to sort of zero in on some extra details. The first very faintly scented tunnel doesn't really have much of any scent to it. It sort of has the same sort of smell as kind of the rock and stone of this cavern system has had. The wet, mildewy smelling cavern has, as you kind of stand there and take in those deep whiffs, has a more fresh sort of scent to it, reminiscent of those creatures. It's faint. It's not like it's a super strong smell, but it is definitely like a presence almost. You get the sense that there might be creatures down that direction. The final one that has the very strong, kind of overwhelming scent of these creatures alongside that acrid smell.
Okay.
That one is harder to say necessarily. It's such a strong smell that you can't really say one way or the other if there might be a creature down that direction. But there's definitely been a lot of activity of their kind down that way. Like whatever's happening at that tunnel, they are in and out of that room constantly.
I am gonna go find Burberry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna
Standing
like
at the top of the 10-foot drop, like,
Okay, I'll sit at the bottom of the 10 foot, and then I'll just kind of like mouth words at him until he understands. Rum, rum.
What you got in your mouth?
I still don't
Peanut butter.
speak bear.
Who gave you this thing peanut butter?
I'm guessing you want me to come down.
Shakes head no.
Oh.
And then I motion with my paw back and forth between us while I'm mouthing words.
Me and you and me and me. I'm sorry, I've always been terrible at charades.
Okay, so then I'll point directly at you. I'll be like
Okay, me.
multiple times. I'll be like aggressively pointing at you, and then
Two
Yes,
syllables.
me.
and then talking motion, and then pointing at my head.
Me talk to you. Okay. Did you what? The bear gets whispered in her ear because he's tired of yelling.
So Burberry's gonna cast message.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I wanted.
You still speak bear though.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, it's not telepathy. It's just a magically projected whisper. So Burberry
Okay,
whispers to
never
you, and you just reply.
Okay, and then you'll see a bear face palm and walk away.
Have I failed in some way?
No. You
Okay.
see shaking bear head no.
Oh, that just looks disappointed.
Oh.
A Lauren bear like kicks a rock, sits down.
Okay, so I feel like whenever Lauren gets, because she still can't see.
Yeah, it's dark as shit.
So whenever
You're navigating entirely by smell.
whenever you get like too close to a drop or a pit, like you'll get another message that says, "Oh, 5 feet to your left there." Oh, like.
Okay, so I guess then Lauren's just gonna sit at the smelliest tunnel and just kind of pout there.
I think she's trying to tell us something.
You're getting a distinct scent of spider people and gross acidic pouch lunch coming
Did
out.
Timmy fall down the well?
I think she wants us to go that way. That.
Yes, I think we have our next objective. Let's keep moving. John, are you coming?
That's a good question. What is John doing?
I am following along with whatever everybody else is doing because John has nothing else to do.
Okay, yeah, just kind of inspecting, watching.
He's just like, I got nothing to do.
John, are you coming? Oh, you're right here. All right. Down we go.
I guess Burberry will
I'll
try
point at this tunnel and be like, you.
Are the spider webs on the wall enough to carry my weight?
Want to try him?
Carefully, yes.
Okay, yeah. Give me a strength check. You're lucky you're light, and you're lucky they're sticky.
A 4. Yikers.
Because you're not holding yourself up. Burberry's just like spread eagle, like
It's all this fabric, man.
hanging from this this wall of webbing to get down from the tunnel that you guys entered from.
I can help her or him.
Okay, you can like pull him off the wall.
He's halfway down.
All right, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, Burberry gets down, and you guys want to check out the stinky tunnel.
Although if we wanted to do the cartoon version, it would be Burberry like does halfway down and does the flip card thing,
Like one of those sticky toes. I think we want to go check out the the smelly pits.
Oh, but before we do that, I'm gonna walk over to the other tunnel and I'm gonna take my little bear claw and I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then kind of like point at the tunnel.
Okay, so that's where the other 4 went. So do we want to go down the particularly smelly one, or do we want to chase down the other 4 bug people?
He's oddly occupied with getting stuff off of his coat.
We don't know where anybody's gone, right?
We know where 4 of them went.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
down the tunnel.
assuming, or we just
I
like we haven't
imagine
actually
it's
caught
a
a glimpse of.
residual smell thing.
I would trust Lauren's
Assuming.
bear nose.
Based on Lauren's smellies.
Okay, let's go that way then.
If
That's
that's
the
your
only clue we
noses than
have.
wolves.
If it's the only clue we got, let's go that way. I just like other than that, we don't really have anything to go on, right?
Lauren is voting for big smelly hole.
I also would vote for big smelly pits.
Sure.
I don't like the name, but I guess
Do you
I'll
not want
allow
us
it.
investigating your big smelly pits?
I'll pass.
God.
I will continue to be a Lauren seeing eye cleric.
So you guys will descend into this pit,
I think we're going to
making
sneak
your
in.
way carefully and sneak
How much?
forward.
Longer for this pass without a trace.
I mean, it's only been like 10 minutes.
Jesus. I feel like you're
Maybe.
taking way longer than.
You got it for a minute. You're holding on to it, yeah.
Okay.
So here. The the stinky pit that Alorn leads you into is going to lead you down a somewhat gentler slope for the most part. It kind of twists off to your right and eventually opens up into another chamber. As you're nearing it, there is a lot of webbing in this chamber, and as you draw nearer to it, Aloran, that acidic smell grows significantly stronger. And it's getting to the point now where the rest of the party is also going to start picking up on this. It's that kind of gooey, sticky, acrid, hard to get out of your nose kind of rotten smell. And approaching the lip of this tunnel,
We walk up to the privy.
kind of looking down, you're probably like 15 feet up in the air now, off the ground, and you're looking down into this fairly long, narrow chamber. Looks like a lot of the stalagmites and stalactites, a lot of the rock formations have either been broken or otherwise like eroded away. And the entire chamber is just like lined with these large round nodules of webbing. And they're giving off a really horrendous sort of stench. Looking around, you don't see any sign of movement in this chamber. It seems to be fairly quiet.
Lauren use her smelly smells again.
Mm-hmm.
To see if I can sniff something out.
What are you trying to sniff?
For the big bad monster, the queen of the bugs.
Okay, are you just hoping to pick up her smell
It only
on the
spawns if
non-existent
you
air
land on the
currents
ground.
of this cavern?
Yeah, this cavern seems sketch, and it sounds like things were broken, so something could be quite large. And if it's covered in a lot of thick webbing,
Yeah,
and
so
it
it
smells
looks
really
like
bad.
this chamber, like if you look at the ceiling, there's like the stumps of stalactites and stuff, and there's sort of the remains of columns that look like they stretched from ceiling to ground, uh, that have been broken down and cleared out, and just like both sides of this fairly long chamber have just been lined, like multiple rows up the wall, almost to the ceiling, with these round, webby uh, nodules, and they're just giving off this really
Oh, okay, so
acrid,
this is just like another food area.
acidic
Got
stink.
it.
Is it reminiscent of eggs?
They don't they don't
Not look like
smell like
eggs.
eggs necessarily.
I'm gonna make what is potentially a slightly bold play. I'm just gonna take my crossbow and shoot one of the pouches.
Okay, give me a roll to hit.
Hey,
He's
nat
being
20.
very bold.
Wow.
What was it?
Nat 20.
Oh shit! It explodes. Um, no, you shoot it and it just kind of embeds itself in the web, and you just see this viscous goo begin to just kind of like ooze out from around the arrow and just kind of slowly drip down the side of one of the nodules and start dripping onto the floor.
Can I take my glaive and just slash across all of them?
Are you? I mean, you're still in the tunnel right now. You want to hop down and get in there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If
Give me
if
an
I have room
acrobatics
to do
check.
that with glaive.
Yeah, there's room. Like it's not like it's a tiny room. This is like it's a much longer chamber than it is wide. It's probably like 30 feet wide and like 60 to 90 feet long. And it's a fairly straight kind of shot. It's not like it bends or anything.
Acrobatics, you
Um,
said?
yeah, give me an acrobatics check because you're 15 feet up off the ground,
I
uh,
guess
and this opening is sort of like in the top of the ceiling, like looking down into the chamber.
I got 16.
16. Okay, yeah. Um, it's kind of a hard landing, but tuck and roll, and you land fairly safely. So you want to slash some shit?
Yeah, just I'm assuming these are like egg pouches or something.
Yeah, give me a roll to hit.
Okay. That would be a 6, no, 18.
18. Yeah, that's definitely hits. Um, with an almighty swing, you draw your glaive across another one of these pouches. The slash just peels open as this thick goop begins to just fall out of it and spill onto the floor and stink. This this smells like puke. This smells like stomach acid. It's like a biley, acrid, nasty fucking smell. And as you kind of like step back away from it to keep your boots out of it, you notice there's like chunks kind of floating in it. There's
Army, get me
like
out of
a
here!
like
Get
a
me out of
really
here!
like badly like melted, like it looks like a bird skull, but the beak is like so like crinkled and worn down. Like it's really kind of hard to pick out, but like you can see sockets, and there's like other
I
bones
yell,
floating in there.
I yell at Barnaby to get me the hell out of there. I
You
stick my
yell.
glaive all the way up and just like, get me out of here!
Yeah,
He's not pointing the pointy end at me, is he?
No, I'm
Barnaby's-
pointing the other end.
okay.
I'll grab it.
All right. You're gonna try and hoist him back into the fucking the tunnel.
I'll try.
Give me a strength check. He's a big boy.
Oh, you need to eat less gumbo. Ugh. That is
Can I like a
18.
18.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. And you got a strength of 14.
I was gonna say, can I like assist by like jumping off the wall or something?
I'm gonna say with that 18, yeah. I mean, John obviously is gonna be climbing as best he can, but Barnaby's doing a lot of the hoisting here. Um, you're not an unfit guy, Barnaby. You're in pretty good shape, and with your strength and your check, that's gonna be work. But you're able to kind of hoist him up slowly as he climbs his way, kind of walking up the sticky wall towards you, back into the tunnel.
By the way, did I get my javelin back from that spider?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's my only javelin.
You did.
You only have one.
I think so.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah. No, I mean it's easy to pick up. You
Oh
can
no, I had
javelin.
4. But if it's still usable, I want to get it back.
Fuck that javelin. He didn't kill nobody. He's weak.
I feel like we should maybe go back to the other tunnel.
I think we should stab and shoot whatever is in there, so no more in the future.
I can't,
I just don't want to be down there anymore.
but Aloran will try to mime fire as best.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that might work.
It's like waving her bear claws.
Yeah. Flames.
She just does an explosion effect with her hand.
Let's save our magic probably, but that's a good idea for when we come back.
If we could gather some webbing, like a bunch of webbing, throw it down there, and then set that on fire.
Okay, you know what? Aloran's done with this. She's turning back into a fish person.
Right.
Done. She's tired of the mime shit. She got flint and tinder. She gotta set this shit on fire.
You want to go burn this shit?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Let me see if I actually have a cantrip for it.
Oh, are you debearing for this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just said that.
Oh.
I'm tired of this. I'm
Oh.
tired of not being able to speak.
We just need someone in the party to get speak with animals.
we have one.
That
Unfortunately, she's bigger.
goes so well. Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
But so we can talk to the bear.
Every animal we meet is either fucking mean or horny. Hate it.
Nah, no, what Aloran does is she casts speak with animals, and then she turns into a bear, and she's like, a human's an animal, right?
That's really deep.
I mean, technically.
Does
that mean speak with animals technically doubles as a translation magic?
Nah.
Speak with animals is about beasts.
Humans are beasts.
They are not. They're humanoids.
They can be beasts.
But that is not their creature type, which means speak with animals does not apply with them. You need comprehend languages for that. So, Aloran, what are you doing? You're going to hop down?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check, because this is a 15-foot drop.
Could I just like lower a rope so we don't have to keep jumping?
Oh
That's
yeah.
an option.
Actually,
I'm
you
just
know
gonna
what?
tie it to.
I have a rope.
Sure, I'll tie a Lauren's rope to a stalagmite and just throw it over the edge.
All right. You're going to have to kind of back up to like find one that's intact, because this room doesn't have any. But
I mean, we got 50 feet of rope and it's a 15-foot drop. I think we can.
yeah,
We can make this happen.
So. All right. So, Aloran will lower herself down, and what are you doing in here? There's
I'm going-
leaking, goopy pouch full of gross, acidic shit and bones.
Where there's like an abundance of them.
Yes, they are lining this room, like floor to ceiling, just rows along
Okay.
both walls.
I'm going to go to the middle,
Okay.
and I'm going to sacrifice one of my bottles of whiskey.
Oh shit.
Oh no! Don't do it.
And I'm gonna start pouring it all over this room on like the other half. Just kind of throwing it around. And then
Alright.
in my little tinder box, I will use my flint and steel
Okay.
and my tinder, and I will start to fire.
Okay. And thanks to the accelerant of your whiskey, this fire is quick to start and catch on these flames, and you watch as the webbing that you have caught in your fire very quickly begins to
I start running.
break
like,
and
running.
snap and spill its contents into the floor of this cavern. It's getting nauseating in here, the smell. Aloran, I want you to roll a Constitution saving throw as you're running through the horrible puke smell that
I'd
is
like to
filling the
leave this
chamber.
tunnel.
What's up?
I'd like to leave this tunnel.
Yeah,
I don't want
that's
to go
fair.
back up to the other
It's really starting to
hub.
fucking stink.
I go to the hub.
Yeah,
I did a 10.
10. Yeah, you're like really choking it back. Like it's bad. This is stomach turningly bad.
I
Clambering
got it.
back up, hauling your friend back into the tunnel with you guys. Looking around.
Taking a cue from Burberry, I'm backing up too.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No thanks.
This is gross.
Okay.
Can I take my javelin and just start like popping any ones near the top or within range?
Yeah, that's fine. Just fucking start fucking.
If you
poking
pop
holes
one
in
on a
everything.
Lauren, she's gonna freak out.
I will purposefully avoid popping one on Lauren. In fact, I can reach down on my glaive and just pull you out.
Yeah, just wait until she gets it back into the tunnel before you start popping shit, and then you guys are gonna pull out, get out of here,
Back to
back
the hub.
to the previous chamber. All right.
We have the pantry and the hub.
I mean, it's better to have names, honestly. Shall we investigate the 4 mysterious missing folk? The bug people one. Next?
Nope.
Okay. I guess we're going to go down the other tunnel now.
So, are we going off a different tunnel from the hub, or are we going off a different tunnel from the pantry?
We are in the hub. We are going
You're
to
in
a
the
different tunnel in the hub.
Okay.
So
I was
there was
just
there
trying to
was
figure out where we're going.
yeah. So the hub had 3 tunnels. There was the stinky acidic tunnel, which you explored and have now ruined. There was the mildewy creatures down that tunnel. And then there was the very faint, not really sure there's anything in there tunnel. So we're going on the mildew tunnel.
The one where the creatures were most likely to go.
Correct.
Okay.
So, making your way here. Similar sort of setup. You're descending. This one's twisting a little bit, and it feels a little bit longer. You're sort of walking for a good couple of minutes before you start approaching the opening. And Aloran, much like as you approach this chamber, the previous chamber, I should say, you will begin to hear the sounds of activity up ahead as you reach this the edge of the tunnel as it lets out into this chamber. So go ahead and give me some stealth checks as you guys draw closer.
34.
34.
Are we past without a trace again? Or is it still the
We
same?
have
It is
yet
still
to
up.
stop.
Okay, I'm sorry. My brain.
I did a 29.
29.
That's good.
16.
19.
19. Okay.
And yes, that is considering pass without a trace.
Rough, buddy.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, as you enter this threshold and very carefully kind of peek inside, start taking a look around, you will see that this chamber, the floor is nearly level with this tunnel when you come into it. You don't even really have to clamber down to get into it. It's just kind of like an open, like you level out and you step out into the chamber. So you're kind of like looking around the edge of this threshold, and you see a large open sort of pit that spans almost the full breadth of this chamber. It's almost like a large sort of bubble. cavern. Like there's not even really any here. It's like super smooth uh, stone all around you. Uh, and you can see that this chamber has a large uh, sort of crevasse kind of running down the center of it. This rift that's sort of opened up in the rock. Um, Higher up in the ceiling, you can see that there's a couple of other passages leading into presumably other tunnels. Uh, and gathered around this crevasse, there is a group of these creatures gathered, uh, currently like expelling web from between their pincers in their face, um, and sort of feeding it down into the crevasse, uh, almost like they're sort of working like repair detail in a way as you watch them. And the thing that really kind of drives that home is that standing off to the side, arms crossed, like watching them supervising, is this new creature, which the upper body is similar. It's got the same sort of like rounded head with the pointed ears, the six eyes running down the face with the snub nose and the pincers. Um, Long, one pair of long spindly arms ending in the sharp claws, but the lower body is a humongous, swollen, round abdomen uh, with these long, like six long, pointed spider legs protruding out of the sides of it. Uh, and this creature is a good, like, 5 to 6 feet tall. Uh, Taking a look at it, like it's substantially bigger than the little guys, and it's just kind of like sitting there with its feet curled up underneath it, arms crossed, watching them work, kind of almost impatiently, uh, waiting for them to do something. You know, there's an irritation to it that you can feel almost immediately. That's just like he didn't want to be here. He looks pissed. And the little guys, you can tell from their body language, are staying very busy and avoiding eye contact. They are not interacting with him as much as possible. And with your stealth checks, none of them seem to have noticed any of you.
Are we doing this?
Yes.
I guess so. How many were there besides the big one?
There were 5.
Can we try and take him out with range again first, or do we have a choke point anywhere near?
Tunnel. I mean, this is just like a
Yeah,
wide,
it's
open,
big.
rounded chamber. Like it's just kind of a big bowl that you're standing in the base of, or not quite the base of. You're sort of up on a slope, sort of looking down at them, but it's a fairly level sort of tunnel that you're coming out of right now. And there is like a faint, like sort of shelf-ish spot, kind of rimming this level of the chamber that you can kind of stand on and look down at these creatures in the base of the pit.
I guess here's a good question. If I block the entrance to the tunnel, are they able to shoot around me, or am I taking up too much space?
They can shoot around you. You are not that big.
Would anything be able to get around or around me though, or would they have to go through me?
They could try to squeeze past you. The little ones probably could. The big guy you might be able to block completely. He's just about as big as you. Well, not quite as big as you are, but he's close. He's chunky.
Okay. Guess the only issue I have with that is that means that Lauren is pretty much out of the fight at that point. What do you guys think?
Oh, Lauren's not a bear. And the more we can save wild shape, the better.
Okay. So I don't know what. Give her a javelin. She can stab at whatever.
Does Lauren have any
I'm
weaponry?
pretty sure she comes with her own weapons.
What?
I said I'm pretty sure she comes with her own weapons. Like even.
Does she have any long range weapons?
I don't know that one.
No.
I guess javelin isn't actually long range. It's just throwing or within 5 feet. Barberry, do you still have an extra, or Barnaby, one of you two, do you still have an extra crossbow?
I do have a crossbow that I could lend.
I do have a light crossbow, but I'll need it back.
I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do we go with the blocking, or John blocking the hole and everybody shoots around him, or all out fight?
Well, the minute we fire at
Could
them,
also
they're
just
probably
cast
going
like
to come...
ice knife at somebody, or do thunder.
That'd be good against the smaller ones.
Yeah.
I
I
say,
keep forgetting Lauren can use.
yeah, I say me and whoever wants to take a long range shot at the big guy, and then
Why? I have well, never mind. I was gonna say I have an AOE spell, but I got myself mixed up with something else, so never mind.
all right.
I'll take the shot.
I
Later
will
down the line.
also take the shot at the big guy.
No gun this time, Barberry, Barnaby, whatever.
Yeah, no, I ain't using that in the cave. Ears still ringing something fierce.
All right, I think me and Barnaby are gonna take a shot at the big
Big.
guy to kick this off.
Oh, what would happen if you cast silence and then shot the gun?
Honestly, if we wanted to avoid that in the future, I could make a silence bubble and have everybody else stand in it, and then he could shoot the gun outside of it, and we wouldn't be able to hear it.
That's fair.
Now that's a silencer.
Right, clever.
Wait, is that how that works?
You are
It-
deafened
no
while you're in
sound
the
goes
bubble.
inside.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you can't deafen us. We're already deaf.
So I guess if we ever needed
that being
Barnaby to
said,
take a
nobody-
stealth shot,
Yeah. That being said, that whenever we are in the bubble, casting will be very difficult.
yes, that's true.
That's true.
I'm saving it in case we.
Well, no, I was just thinking of using it like a silencer, basically. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere centered from the point you choose.
so technically, if you just put a small little bubble around his gun muzzle, around his gun
Can't choose
entirely.
the size. It is
Yeah.
a 40-foot radius, or sorry, 20-foot radius, no matter what.
Or nothing.
I mean, it doesn't.
Be
Really
a pretty neat magic item, though.
Wait, I thought you could shoot the size. I thought it just couldn't go past them.
That would be
No.
very good.
How about I just take the shot
Yeah, I'm taking a shot too.
with the bow?
Okay. Since we're getting close to midnight, I think we'll probably wrap up with this, like a note of the damage you deal, and then pick up there next time. So go ahead and give me your attacks, guys.
23 to hit.
That is going to hit the big boy.
No, I've got a 20 to hit.
20 to hit is definitely going to hit as well.
Can Burberry throw in a guiding bolt as well?
Sure, yeah.
23?
That'll hit.
Can John chuck another javelin?
Everyone's just going to fucking pile it on the big boy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He's gonna be dead in like the first 10.
9 from me.
9.
23,
Yeah, 2 nat ones.
9 damage.
23 to hit from John.
How much damage?
Oh,
'Cause you definitely hit.
Well, did 6.
6.
And damage from Barnaby.
10.
9 damage, John.
9 damage. Alrighty.
I'm gonna hit the little guys.
Okay. So they're all kind of bunched up and around this crevasse, kind of feeding webbing down into it. So what are you doing? What's your play?
I'm gonna hit the guy in the middle of them all. I'll be
With
casting ice knife.
ice knife. Okay.
That's a good spell.
It is a good spell.
Let me look at.
Ranged spell attack, please.
Okay. Unnatural. But dash should hit, right?
Unnatural 20?
Yeah, unnatural 20.
Gotcha. Okay, so that'll be a D10 piercing damage. And then all these motherfuckers need to make a dexterity save.
The D10 dice, is that?
That is the one that has kind of a diamondy face to it, and it's got
And
a
then it has,
zero
zeros
on one
everywhere.
side. Yeah,
Ooh, I rolled max damage.
nice. So that's going to be 10 on one of them. And then going from top to bottom, it's just the guys that you hit. So the one you hit will fail for sure. That's an 8. Two others I think are pretty sure they're failing 6s and 11. What is the DC on your spell saves right now? So I've got one that rolled a 17 total and one that rolled a 21 total. I'm pretty sure that one saves.
Where's the DC? Oh,
Who are you asking?
Aloran.
it's a 13.
13 is your spell save?
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 of them will make it and take no damage. 3 of them will fail, including the one that you shot with the knife itself. They will each take the 2d6 damage from cold. So go ahead and give me that damage.
8.
8?
Yep.
Good job. That first one who you shot with a knife, it explodes right in front of him and just shreds his body, and he just collapses amidst his fellows. The other 2 next to him both take numerous shards to their body, and the 2 behind them are able to kind of like duck out of the way and take cover as this ice grenade fucking just explodes in their midst. The big boy, who is just pelted with everything you guys have, just gets sprayed with javelins and arrows and magical energy. His body fucking recoils before he looks up at all of you and points one big, long, accusatory finger up at the tunnel and lets out this creepy, screeching sound. And we will pick up there as these things all turn to you and begin to charge.
Oh, you got it all wrong. It wasn't us.
No.
Say howdy
What?
and twiddle
No,
my
we
We were
fingers.
just
got
in the
here.
wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh no, we took 6 points to our morale.
And so we're backed up against the tunnel, right? So I'm basically blocking the tunnel.
Yeah, you
Or was
can
that-
be. You can be,
Not
yeah.
the accusatory finger.
Everyone can like kind of step forward, take their shot, and back up as you're ending this surprise round in front of everyone. So next time we will start with initiative.
Sweet. I feel like we've explored like 2% of this cave.
3 chambers so far, so
It's because we
terrible
take
progress.
everything so carefully.
Did you make a big dungeon?
It's got some chambers to it.
MVP.
Good question. Who gets the inspiration this time?
I don't recall too many standout moments.
This is the beginning of the dungeon. That is fair.
I honestly am stumped. I don't know.
It's a pretty slow getting back into the
I
swing of
vote.
things.
I vote for Noelle because she actually helped us a lot with planning of the what to do next.
That's fair. It's not a bad one. Noel did kind of take a lead.
That is-
I'll vote for Burberry because they nominated me.
A great reason.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Noel?
Noel? Do for Noel?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah, does anyone not have it?
Noel.
I don't.
Y'all
I'll
need to start spending your
donate
fucking
it to
inspiration.
John.
Alright.
Mm,
Y'all
It's
better
exciting.
start using it or I'm gonna start taking it away.
Ah!
we
We
save it
vote
for
for
the
who
important
loses
times.
inspiration at the end of the session.
You get an inspiration every session.
One
Somebody
of us.
No.
should be using it.
One person gets an inspiration.
So we should each be using it 1 out of every 5 sessions.
Or we could just say each person or
The party
somebody uses it
effectively
every.
gets a free reroll every session.
I was gonna say everybody uses or one person uses it every session and they get the inspiration back at the end of the session.
That's what it would amount to.
Inspiration was used this session.
That's true.
Was it?
Yeah, by Lauren. To
No, I
negate
didn't.
it.
I didn't
Yeah,
use
I
it.
thought she ended up not doing it.
No, I ended up.
Because it would have just canceled out the. This
The
I
better
still
roll.
would have rolled a 2.
Yeah, she already
It
rolled
wouldn't
terrible.
have changed anything.
As far as support goes, we're kind of mid dungeon crawl, so I don't know that we've really done much beyond kind of explore. There's not like a lot of
But
RP
what?
happening.
But what?
We've
You
been
don't speak there.
Nobody speaks bear.
strategizing, and I don't bear. That's pretty much it.
That was really funny though.
It was. But next time we will continue our dungeon crawl and see what else you uncover. You found a gross, stinky room and destroyed it. And now you have found a big hole with a crack room and have killed 2 people inside.
So that was funny that John jumped down into the stinky hole and then immediately was like, "No, get me out of here."
Nope, fuck this room.
Can I have a support point with Lauren for being her seeing eye cleric?
You're pushing it. You're
Can I get a
pushing
support point with Noel for holding hands?
it. I'm gonna fight
'Cause
all
I'm
you
scared.
people.
What did I do?
Y'all milking this shit. It hadn't even been relevant yet.
Can I get a support point with
Mine
Barnaby for
was-
standing next to him?
All right, you know what? I'm getting sleepy,
get a
guys.
support
I feel like
point
it's
for-
time for me to
Hang on,
call it a night.
Hang on. Mine was a legitimate one. I was holding hands with Noel because he was scared.
What the fuck is wrong with my keyboard? Okay, there, it's fixed.
It died.
Okay, they were cute, but we are mid dungeon crawl. I will consider it, but I will not count on it. Just
Can I get one for my humor of constantly going, what?
with who?
What? Just with myself.
We're dungeon crawling.